Let's get to our introduction of game officials tonight, and that is brought to you by your Marshall County Assistant County Attorney, Jason Darnell. Jason has served as an Assistant County Attorney for over 13 years under longtime County Attorney Jeff Edwards. Jeff will be retiring, and Jason is a candidate for the office of County Attorney, running as an independent, and he would appreciate your support and consideration. Proud to say good luck to the Marshals and Lady Marshals. Paid for by Jason Darnell for County Attorney, Bill Morgan, Treasurer. We will get to our Cashway Complete Building Materials coin toss here in just a second. Let's right now talk about our crew tonight. Referee is Preston Brewer. Umpire is Zach Hobbs. Back judge is Jim Chapman. Line judge David Smithmeyer. And the head linesman is Terry Apple. Tyler Stokes will be there, the head captain for Marshall County, and Michael Aberhart for Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell in their white and blue, Marshall in their orange and blue. Let's turn it over to Preston Brewer.
He's going to help me tonight on the coin toss. Now, guys, this is a game of football. It's played with the shoulder pads down. Do not use your head at any time to punish yourself or your opponent. Now, since you're the visiting team, I have a silver dollar here. Tails and heads. I will flip it, let it hit the ground. Do you choose heads or tails?
Tails.
What do you say?
Tails.
It is a head. You have your choice.
Yeah, we want the ball.
You're going to receive.
All right, so Marshall County has won the coin toss, and they will receive. Let's talk about Cashway Complete Building Materials now as we get off the field and allow things to get going here at Marshall County High School as they're getting things quickly moving along. So Cashway Complete Building Materials here in Benton. As whatever project you have in mind, Cashway has everything you need from yellowwood treated lumber, windows, doors, tools from Paslode to Walton Bostage. Also, Cashway carries the complete lineup of paint products from Porter, PPG, and Pittsburgh. Stop by Cashway Complete Building Materials, 641 North between Benton and Draftonville.
At Benton Hardware, we strive to provide excellent service to our customers. We're a full-service hardware store. Our friendly, knowledgeable staff will be ready to help you with everything you need from the moment you step in. Throughout our 10,000 square foot store, you'll find a great variety of well-organized products at very reasonable prices, and we'll be happy to offer advice on how to install them. At Benton Hardware, our goal is to make your experience as pleasant as it can be. Visit us at Benton Hardware, 411 East 12th Street.
On your feet, Marshall fans.
CFSB proudly brings you Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's a catchy word for earning cash that just might make you want to dance. Get paid for doing simple things you do anyway. That's free Kasasa checking. Ask for free Kasasa checking at CFSB.
Barack Obama had not yet won his second term as president. Donald Trump was still just a reality TV star. And some guy that calls himself Flo Rida had the #1 song in the country. That was the last time that the football Marshals opened a season with a victory. It was August 2012. With a new-look offense and a veteran offensive line this season, the Marshals are hoping to change that tonight as they welcome the Fort Campbell Falcons to Traylor Stadium. Hi again, everybody. This is Jeff Waters, and thanks for joining us this evening. Home Sweet Home will be an even more familiar place for the Marshals this season, with 6 home games total and 5 of their first 6 at home. Kickoff will be brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Kayla Teckenbrock. Are you earning enough on your savings? Talk to Edward Jones financial advisor Kayla Teckenbrock at 1104 Main on the Bentoncourt Square, or call 270-527-5743. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC. Marshals have Austin Riley back to receive this kick, along with Ty Buckmeyer. Riley on the left, but around the 6-yard line, Buckmeyer up closer to the 10-yard line on the right. Marshals in orange jerseys with white numbers. Some white piping around the shoulder pads, white pants, the orange helmets with the white interlocking MC on the sides of the helmets. Fort Campbell, meanwhile, will wear white jerseys with royal blue numbers, royal blue pants, white helmets with the Falcon logo on the sides of the helmets. Again, kickoff brought to you by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Kayla Teckenbrock. Fort Campbell will kick it left to right. And to do the honors for Fort Campbell is Johnny Paniagua Salas. He was the kicker last year for Fort Campbell in their upset win over the Marshals. A right-footed kicker puts this one high in the air. It will not make the end zone. It'll be taken at the 5-yard line by Riley. Fakes the handoff to Buckmeyer. They collided. He does scoot around to the right side. He's across the 20, 25, out to the 28-yard line, and piled up there by several Fort Campbell defenders. Leading the charge for Fort Campbell, Keanu Kanashiro. So the Marshals will take the field. Offensively, the Marshals will look like this. Up front, Chet Kretzinger will be the center. The guards, Dalton Keeling and Noah McClure. The tackles, Blake Strader and Blake Myhand. The receivers, Dylan Rayburn and Ian Thompson. The quarterback, Tyler Stokes. The fullback, Luke Wyatt. Slot backs are Tyler Stevenson and Ty Buckmeyer. Starting lineups brought to you by Mediacom, Channel 8. Marshals from their own 29-yard line. Right to left from the right hash. Fort Campbell loads up the tackle box. The Marshals with a slot back to each side as Buckmeyer comes in motion. Quick pitch on the option as Stokes trying to run it around to the right side, and a pitch back to Buckmeyer. He picks up a yard out to the 30. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. Jesus Avila on the tackle for Fort Campbell. Ball on the right hash. The Marshals right to left as we watch it from the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center. Marshals at Madisonville next week, and then 4 straight back here at home. Marshals 2nd and long from their own 30. Wyatt, the fullback, lined up straight behind Stokes. Wyatt gets the call on an inside carry, and he's able to take it out to the 34-yard line up the middle. Pickup of 4 yards, and the Marshals will have a manageable 3rd down to work with here. 3rd and almost 5. Elijah Jones on the stop for Fort Campbell. Ball at the 34-yard line, 3rd and 5. The Marshals and Fort Campbell just underway, no score. The Marshals get into the huddle. And Chet Kretzinger, senior center, leads the Marshals back up to the line of scrimmage. Slot backs to each side. Buckmeyer comes in motion from the near side. It's a handoff to Stevenson coming from the opposite side, and Fort Campbell is going to wrap this play up right at the line of scrimmage as breaking free was Tommy Musgrove to make the tackle for Fort Campbell, and that'll bring up 4th down, a 3 and out for the Marshals to get the 2018 season underway. Some speed defensively for Fort Campbell, and they showed it there as the Marshals tried to use a little misdirection on that 3rd and long play. Austin Riley will drift back inside the Marshall County 20-yard line to punt it away. Elijah Crockett and DeAndre Spence are back to receive this punt. Low snap. Riley handles it. Riley gets away a short kick, and it will bounce, and it hit one of the Fort Campbell players, and Marshall County is able to get on it at the 43-yard line of Fort Campbell. Ty Buckmeyer was able to get on the ball. One of the Fort Campbell players that bounced and hit him had his back turned to the ball and never saw it coming. And the Marshals will take over at the Fort Campbell 43. So a break for the Marshals. Tyler Stokes of the Marshall County offense back out onto the field. Luke Wyatt staying in at fullback. A 4-man defensive front for Fort Campbell. Wideouts each way for the Marshals. No tight ends in the game here. Slot backs to each side. Stokes wants to throw, throwing down the right sideline, and the pass is incomplete. There was some contact there. The pass was intended for Tyler Stevenson. Marshals will use tight ends on occasion in this formation, and Luke Young is coming in as a tight end here as Ian Thompson comes out of the game. Marshals took a shot down the field there after the Fort Campbell turnover. No score here in the early going. Marshals were 3 and out, then Fort Campbell inadvertently hit the punt. Marshals recovered the ball. Young is lined up as the tight end to the right. Quick pitch, left side. Stevenson has it. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Marshall County. 43-yard touchdown run for Tyler Stevenson. Toss sweep around to the left side, and Stevenson takes it 43 yards for a Marshall County touchdown. Taco John's touchdown for Tyler Stevenson. Free combo meal headed his way. And Austin Stockdale will come on for the Parkway Chrysler point after attempt. Right-footed kicker, outstanding soccer player for Coach Donnie Heath's Marshall County Marshall soccer team. And Stockdale drills the Parkway Chrysler point after try. 43-yard touchdown run to the Marshalls. Make Fort Campbell pay for the mistake. 7-0 Marshall County as we come back to Carroll Traylor Stadium after these important words on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
Number 7, DeAndre Spence.
Remax Replay brought to you by Jeff Smith and his team of realtors at Remax Real Estate Associates, Benton and Murray. And the kickoff here by Stockdale. Fort Campbell able to return it out across the 30 to around the 35-yard line. First official possession of the night for Fort Campbell. They held the Marshalls to a 3-and-out. On the opening possession of the night, the Marshalls punted. It was a short punt and hit one of the Fort Campbell players as he was headed down the field to block. The Marshalls recovered it. Ty Buckmeyer recovered it. 2 plays later, the Marshalls are in the end zone. Tyler Stevenson, 43-yard touchdown run on a toss sweep. So we get an opportunity to see Fort Campbell offensively for the first time. Matthew Middleton, their junior quarterback, stands 6'2". He'll work from the shotgun here, has a man in motion to the far side. Delayed handoff. Marshall County is able to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and that was Blake Myhan coming from his defensive end position to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage back at the 34-yard line. That's a loss of 1. Will make it 2nd and 11. The Marshalls leading 7-0 here in the first quarter. Puckett's Jewelry game time, 8:55 to play in the opening stanza. 2nd and 11 here for Fort Campbell, and coming out wide for Fort Campbell will be Nathan Lake. In the slot on that near side, Elijah Crockett. Coming in motion, Jordan Edwards, number 6. He lines up just off the left hip of the left tackle, and he takes the pass out in the flat, complete out across the 35, out close to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play. They'll put him down just inside the 40. Tristan Klein coming up to make the stop for Marshall County. Marshall County up front, Chet Kretzinger, Blake Strader, Blake Myhan, Luke Young across the front. The linebackers are Matthew Wooten, Dawson Smothers, and Tristan Klein. The corners, Dylan Rayburn and Tyler Stevenson. Matthew Wooten and Ty Buckmeyer, or rather Austin Riley and Ty Buckmeyer are the safeties. Marshall show a 4-man front here. A little bit of a low snap. Middleton handles it, and he passes out in the left flat. Pass was a little low, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Elijah Crockett. Now bring up 4th down for Fort Campbell in a punting situation here for the Falcons. Ty Buckmeyer will drift back to receive this punt for the Marshalls. 7-0 Marshall County. Much different start to this game this season than last year at Fort Campbell, where the Marshalls got down 18-0 at halftime. Marshalls come with a pretty good rush on the punter here. Very low line drive type of punt. Then it takes a big Fort Campbell bounce. The punt only went about 20 yards in the air, and then it rolled another 20 yards on the ground, and Buckmeyer wisely backs up away from it, and Fort Campbell will down it at the 22-yard line. Marshall's leading 7-0. 7:40 to play in the opening quarter. We are in the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center here at Marshall County High School's Carroll Traylor Stadium. Tyler Stokes will go up under center. Marshall's with 2 tight ends in the game here. slot backs each way. Stevenson comes in motion. Hand off to Wyatt, the fullback, plowing ahead for some hard yards. He's across the 25 and out to the 29. Gain of 7. Jaden Ruggles up to make the tackle for Fort Campbell, but not before a gain of 7 yards on the inside handoff to Luke Wyatt. Ball will be spotted between the hashes. Marshals have it second and short from their own 29-yard line, leading Fort Campbell 7-0. Rayburn is back in as a receiver, so is Thompson. Rayburn's wide right, Thompson wide left. In motion, Stevenson from the far side, handoff to Wyatt, has a hole off the left side, and has it across the 35, across the 40, and out to the 43-yard line for a CFSB first down. Elijah Jones and the defensive secondary making the tackle for Fort Campbell, but a CFSB first down for Marshall County and $3 into the CFSB Scholarship Scoreboard Fund. Marshals break the huddle. Chet Kretzinger, who has a hyperextended knee, suffered last week in the scrimmage against Warren Central. Not quite 100%, but playing here tonight. Stokes fakes, drops to throw, man wide open over the middle. It's Stevenson again with 1 to beat. Cuts back at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Marshall County. Marshall's going to the air on first down, taking Fort Campbell by surprise, and right down the seam wide open was Tyler Stevenson. Covers 57 yards. Taco John's touchdown for Tyler Stevenson. He can take a friend with him now. He has both touchdowns for the Marshals. 2 combo meals headed the way of Tyler Stevenson. Austin Stockdale coming on for the Parkway Chrysler point after, and he hits it away ahead of a rush coming in off the edge there from Fort Campbell, and the Parkway Chrysler point after attempt is good. Marshals have scored again. Long touchdown pass from Tyler Stokes to Tyler Stevenson. Marshals lead it 14-0. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
At Benton Hardware, we strive to provide excellent service to our customers. We're a full-service hardware store. Our friendly, knowledgeable staff will be ready to help you with everything you need from the moment you step in. Throughout our 10,000 square foot store, you'll find a great variety of well-organized products at very reasonable prices, and we'll be happy to offer advice on how to install them. At Benton Hardware, our goal is to make your experience as pleasant as it can be. Visit us at Benton Hardware, 411 East 12th Street.
RE/MAX Replay brought to you by Jeff Smith and his team of realtors at RE/MAX Real Estate Associates, Benton and Murray. It's a fact, no one sells more real estate than RE/MAX. 57-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Stokes to Tyler Stevenson. Second time that Tyler Stevenson has visited the end zone tonight. Stockdale ready to kick it away for the Marshals. High kick, but not very deep. It'll be taken by Crockett back at the 9-yard line. Crockett heads up the left side. Moves it out to the outside at the 20, and he's down the sideline with just Stockdale to beat, and Crockett's going to take this one all the way. I don't see any flags on the play, and wrestling him down from the backside, Austin Riley. Hustling on the play, not giving up on the play, and he's able to bring him down inside the 15-yard line. I thought Crockett was going to score, but a long kickoff return by Elijah Crockett has set Fort Campbell up inside the Marshall County 15-yard line. Somebody had a very nice block there for Crockett that got him that extra daylight down the sideline, down the far sideline. So they'll put it down at the Marshall County 11-yard line. 14-0 Marshall County, but Fort Campbell will be knocking on the door here. Let's call it the 12-yard line of Marshall County. That's where Fort Campbell will snap it from the left hash. Royal blue pants, white jerseys, royal blue numbers. 2 wideouts each way. Man set to Middleton's right in the shotgun. Now the left slot comes in motion. Handoff on the inside, and not much running room there for the ball carrier, which is Kamari Williams. And he's dropped after a gain of a couple. That'll bring up second down and 8. Blake Myhan from his defensive end position on the tackle for Marshall County. Myhan had a tackle for loss on Fort Campbell's previous possession. Second and 8. Fort Campbell inside the Marshall County 10. Trips right, single receiver left. The Marshals will rush 4. They spread out their secondary. Middleton with pressure coming in off the edge on a slant. The catch is made. Touchdown, Fort Campbell. Tyler McKay making the catch, junior wide receiver for Fort Campbell. Covers 9 yards, and Fort Campbell is an extra point away from cutting Marshall County's lead in half. Just a simple slant. Middleton put it right on the money. McKay was open on the inside slant. And Johnny Paniagua Salas coming on to attempt the extra point here for Fort Campbell. And Fort Campbell had everybody out there except their long snapper. So now they're ready. The holder is Jordan Edwards. The snap is a little bit behind him, and that threw their timing off, and Paniagua's extra point try is no good. And it's 14-6, Marshall County with a Fort Campbell kickoff coming up. 5:32 to play in the first. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
CFSB proudly brings you Casasa. What's Casasa? It's a catchy word for earning cash that just might make you want to dance. Get paid for doing simple things you do anyway. That's free Casasa checking. Ask for free Casasa checking at CFSB.
12-yard scoring drive for Fort Campbell after the long the long kickoff return by Elijah Crockett. Mediacom Channel 8, where you'll find local programming dedicated to you and your community every day from 1 to 11 p.m. Mediacom Channel 8 features programming that spotlights the history, the culture, and the personalities of our community, plus local high school sports, government meetings, community festivals and events, and more. Mediacom Channel 8, the channel dedicated to you and your community. We'll get it down to Aaron Clayton along the Marshall County sideline for a report after the Fort Campbell kickoff here. And they're going to try a onside kick, and it works. Marshall County was taken totally off guard, and Fort Campbell recovers the kick. Recovering the kick for Fort Campbell was Elijah Jones, and Fort Campbell is going to have the football at the Marshall County 44-yard line. They huddled around the ball, and then very quickly they spread out, and it was very well executed. Marshall County had no idea it was coming. And Fort Campbell is going to take over at the Marshall County 44-yard line. 14-6, Marshall County with the lead, but Fort Campbell with the ball. Nathan Lake comes out wide right. Trips that way with Crockett in the slot. Marshall show a 4-man rush, 2 linebackers. Inside handoff. This is DeAndre Spence, and Spence cutting up on the left hash and has it to the 40. Pick up a 4. Luke Young in on that tackle for the Marshalls. I think Tristan Klein was also in on that tackle. Down to the Marshall County sideline. U.S. Bank called to the sideline. Aaron Clayton.
Attitude, the name of the game right now. Players pairing off, keeping each other pumped up throughout. And even when things go wrong, they go right. The touchdown pass from Stokes to Stevenson, that was the wrong play call. Coach Mo is saying, I want you to just throw it to the outside, not over the middle, but it worked out all right. Even with a couple of stumbles over the last couple of series, Marshalls with a great attitude here tonight to get the season underway.
Trips left here for Fort Campbell and a tight end to the right. Handoff coming around the other way, and it will be Spence again, and he'll be wrapped up at the 44-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Austin Riley coming up from his safety position. Also Dawson Smothers in on that stop. At least Fort Campbell a couple of yards shy. They have the ball down at the Marshall County 36-yard line. I would say this is 4-down territory for Fort Campbell, particularly with the momentum they have put back on their side after the Marshalls grabbed a 14-0 lead. It's 14-6 right now. Man in motion for Fort Campbell. Now Trips will be set up to the near side. That's the short side of the field. Inside handoff here to Nathaniel Massey, and he has the first down inside the 35 of Marshall County and down to the 31. It's a gain of 5. Tristan Klein on the Marshall County tackle. Marshall County football brought to you in part this season on WCBL Sports by CISA Contractors, Dr. David Cassidy and staff at Benton Family Dental, Award Masters Incorporated, and by First Choice Auto Sales. 14-6, Marshall County, but Fort Campbell with the football and a new set of downs inside the Marshall County 35. Tight end right, trips to the left, empty backfield. Middleton hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Too tall for the intended receiver over the middle, Nathaniel Massey, who just had that first down run. Tristan Klein had the pressure coming in off the edge that forced Middleton to leave that one a little bit high. Second down and 10 coming up for Fort Campbell from the Marshall County 31-yard line. Fort Campbell 2-8 last year, defeated the Marshalls, and then later in the year defeated Fort Knox in the annual Army Bowl. 14-6, Marshall County, 3:42 to play first quarter. Middleton, the quarterback, will be set in the shotgun with a set back to his right. And it's a handoff here coming around to the left side for Fort Campbell as DeAndre Spence, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe moved it ahead a half a yard. Luke Young, Dawson Smothers combining on that stop. No gain on the play. They'll put it back down at the Marshall County 31. That will be 3rd and 10 here for Fort Campbell. Again, though, I think that Fort Campbell is in 4-down territory. 14-6. Marshall County with the lead. Middleton trying to get the play called. For whatever reason, the play clock isn't running. Now it's running. Fort Campbell bought some extra time there. Marshalls will rush 4. Middleton with a setback to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Middleton throws right side. The pass is caught, but short of the first down at the 25-yard line. Tyler Stevenson with good coverage. Making the catch was Nathan Lake. Short of the first down will bring up 4th down, and we'll call it 4 here for Fort Campbell at the Marshall County 25-yard line. Tyler Stevenson with a 43-yard touchdown run. Tyler Stokes with a 57-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Stevenson, accounting for Marshall County scores. Matthew Middleton with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Tyler McKay for Fort Campbell on their last possession. Then they went with the onside kick. Took the Marshalls by surprise, recovered the kick. This drive started at the Marshall County 44-yard line. It's 4th and 4 for Fort Campbell. Man in motion out of the near slot, so trips left, single receiver right, 1 setback. Middleton looks to throw. It is the slant again, and he left this one way tall for Jordan Edwards. Fortunate for Marshall County because Edwards was wide open on the slant. Had he made the catch, I think he would have scored. Marshalls catch a break there as Middleton sailed that one. And the Marshalls will take over at their own 25-yard line. Marshalls leading at 14-6. Marshalls going right to left here in the first quarter as we watch it from the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center. Tyler Stokes will go up under center. Slot backs to each side, wideouts each way. And it's a handoff to Riley. He cuts it up the middle. Riley's across the 30, stiff arms, and he's out to the 31, and he'll be piled up there by several Fort Campbell defenders, but a good play on first down and a pickup of 6 yards. Elijah Jones on the tackle for Fort Campbell, but a good first down pickup for the Marshalls. Call it a gain. We'll call it now a pickup of 7 almost. Ty Buckmeyer back in. David Morris, Marshall County's offensive coordinator, with a play call from the sideline. Stokes has it, walks back into the huddle. Receivers each way, slot backs each way, and Luke Wyatt is the fullback. Loaded tackle box here for Fort Campbell. Stokes on the inside handoff, and it's Wyatt as he puts it in Wyatt's gut and leaves it there, and Wyatt takes it across the 35 out to the 40-yard line, and that's a CFSB first down for the Marshalls. Marshall County's honorary team captain this season. Well-deserving. Good to see our old friend Randy Stafford. Randy, how you doing?
Doing great, Jeff.
It's good to see Randy.
A little out of breath
at
my age to walk up those steps.
We'll give you a chance to catch your breath, and we'll visit for a moment. 1st and 10 for the Marshalls from their own 40-yard line. They lead at 14-6. Marshalls have slot backs each way, wideouts each way. Fort Campbell with a 4-man defensive front. The Marshalls had 2 players in motion, so a penalty here will blow this play dead. We'll replay first down. First penalty of the night either side. 5 yards against the Marshals will make it 1st and 15 and back them up to their own 35. Well, Randy, can you hear me okay? Let's see. We're trying to get Randy's. What about now, Randy? You got me now? Okay. Turn it up a little more. Turn it down. Okay. A little too loud. How's that?
That's better.
All right. You know, you're an old TV and communications guy. You can probably work this equipment as well as any of us, you know?
I don't know, Jeff. I've forgotten a lot that I knew, and I didn't know a lot to begin with.
So Fort Campbell apparently declines this penalty. I wasn't aware you could do that. No, I don't think you can. In fact, it's going to be, they had not moved the marker back. It's going to be 1st and 15 for the Marshals. Fort Campbell with 3 in the secondary, everybody else in the tackle box. Hand off to Wyatt. Wyatt plowing ahead and has several yards, gets the penalty yardage back and then some. He crosses the 40 out close to the 44-yard line. Good pickup there by Luke Wyatt. You know, Randy, these plays, even though you spent most of your time on the defensive side of the ball during your many years on the staff, these plays, even though the formation looks a little different, these plays are kind of vintage Marshall County. Jim Shelton, Larry Krause, Doc Sanders type plays, aren't they?
Yes, Jeff. I told Coach Merrick tonight before the game that I walked down for the scrimmage last Friday and walked behind the offense. And when I saw those big wide line splits, I knew Jim Shelton was smiling.
That's right. He's up there in heaven smiling down. We've reached the end of the first quarter. The Marshals will have it 2nd and 7 when we return, leading Fort Campbell 14-6 on WCBL Sports.
CFSB proudly brings you Casasa. What's Casasa? It's like never getting surprised by an ATM fee. Bank local and we'll refund your ATM fees nationwide. That's free Casasa checking. Ask for free Casasa checking at CFSB.
Back inside the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center, Jeff Waters along with Aaron Clayton and Chris Freeland. Special guest Randy Stafford, honorary captain for this season for the Marshall County football team. And the Marshals will have the ball inside. Let's see here. Get Randy's headphones. Now we good? Okay. Marshals will have it inside their own 45-yard line, 2nd down. Leading Fort Campbell 14-6. Second quarter about to get underway. Quick pitch for the Marshals and a tackle made behind the line of scrimmage. That was Matthew Wooten, and had lined up as the right slot back, and he was dropped for a 1-yard loss. And nice open field tackle there by Fort Campbell. That will bring up 3rd and long here for Marshall County. We had a holding penalty as well against Marshall County. So the question becomes, does Fort Campbell take the penalty or do they make the Marshals snap it on 3rd and long? Preston Brewer, our referee here tonight, talking it over with one of the captains for Fort Campbell, giving him his options here. It is holding against Marshall County, and they will take the penalty. Randy, how many years total involved with the football program here at Marshall County before you retired?
About 31, Jeff, counting the years that I played.
Yeah, you were part of the first varsity football team in Marshall County at North Marshall High School.
I was a freshman that year.
Okay.
And I remember the year, and I remember, I didn't dress for the varsity, but I remember the year. It was a big year. And then I played my sophomore, junior, senior year as a varsity player, and actually helped my old freshman coach while I was in college at South Marshall coach, and then of course came to Marshall County as a coach in '76, fall of '76.
Marshals will have it 2nd and long, 2nd and 13 here. It looks like a broken play here for the Marshals. Stokes Going to try to get back what he can. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. I'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Marshals. Randy, this offense will look a lot different from week to week. Not so much in what they're trying to do, but in the way they execute.
Yes, it's going to take some time. This is something that I'm not sure if really anybody in this area at all uses it anymore, and I'm not sure about the state of Kentucky. You don't see it much, but if you look at the military academies with playing with lesser talent, all of them continue to use it.
Marshals will have to take a timeout. They were getting close on the play clock there, and Tyler Stokes takes Marshall County's first timeout of the first half. The Marshals have it 3rd and long from their own 38-yard line, leading Fort Campbell 14-6, 10:55 to play in the first. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
CFSB proudly brings you Casasa. What's Casasa? It's like never getting surprised by an ATM fee. Bank local and we'll refund your ATM fees nationwide. That's free Casasa checking. Ask for free Casasa checking at CFSB.
Marshals have it 3rd and long from their own 38-yard line, leading Fort Campbell 14-6. First half of action, 10:55 remaining in the first half. Marshals using their first timeout of the first half. Stokes with Wyatt lined up behind him. Man in motion. Stokes fakes the inside handoff, lost the pass in the air, and the catch is made by Buckmeyer, who lunges after contact and is close to a first down at the midfield stripe. Maybe just short. I believe you're just a matter of inches short there. And near midfield, Marshals with the ball just on their side of the midfield stripe. And Preston Brewer, the referee here tonight, apparently thinks it's close enough to warrant a measurement, so we're going to get that. Randy, what are some of your fondest memories? You were here for the first district championship team. You were here for the state semifinal run in '95, the great '98 team that won 11 games, defeated Paducah Tillman for the first time in program history. Any of those in particular stand out more than others in your mind? It was such a great ride there for a number of years.
Yes, Jeff. Obviously, the '95 and '98 teams. I mean, when people ask me, those are the first things, because as far as the entire season goes, they were just great highlights for us to be at that level of play. And of course, you remember the people that weren't around at that time, weren't involved in the program, can't imagine the crowd that was here in '95 and the experience of St. X driving all those buses down here and bringing all those people, and 127 players on the sideline.
I've had people ask me over the years how many people I thought were here that night, and I've always guessed around 10,000.
I don't know.
I mean, it was packed. They brought in, I remember they brought in just about every set of bleachers, extra set of bleachers they could find in the county. So 4th and a foot here for the Marshals, and Stokes will turn and hand it off to Wyatt, and he's tripped up near the line of scrimmage but falls forward and is able to pick up the CFSB first down. Marshals leading at 14-6. They've moved it across the 50 just over into Fort Campbell territory, and they convert on 4th and short with 10:39 to play in the first half. That's our Puckett's Jewelry game time. Puckett's Fine Jewelry, Main Street and Benton. Chet Kretzinger crouches over the football with Stokes going up under center. Now the Marshals will go with 2 tight ends, Young on the right, Smothers on the left. Stokes steps back, might be changing things at the line of scrimmage, goes back under center. Stevenson's in motion. Stokes hesitates as he takes the snap, looked like a broken play, and he's able to pick up a yard, kind of improvised and picked up a yard there.
And that's one of those things, Jeff, you mentioned earlier about, about it getting better and where we were. And it's definitely going to get better. I mean, when you go to a new style like this, it takes some time to get it fine-tuned. And this style of offense has to be done exactly right most of the time. So it's
all about the reps.
Yeah, they're going to get better. They're going to get a lot better.
Rayburn will come out wide right. Slot backs to each side. Stokes fakes. Now he's going to hold on to it. He's got running room. 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Marshall County on the 48-yard touchdown run by Tyler Stokes. Read that one beautifully on the option play.
And that's
Marshalls
just like
go ahead 20-6.
That shows you, Jeff, the beauty of the option offense. Stokes did a great job of reading that.
He did. The defense
kind of faked the pitch, drew that guy out, and then turned up and made a great run.
Got the end to commit there, and then he had that gap, and he went right through it. 48-yard touchdown run for Tyler Stokes. Taco John's touchdown, and the extra point try is blocked. The extra point try brought to you by Parkway Chrysler is blocked. The Marshalls will settle for 6, but they've taken a 20-6 lead here with 9:29 to play in the first half. Now the Marshall County kicking team is still on the field, and there is a flag down at the 4-yard line. The Marshalls may get another chance. The Fort Campbell defense has already, with the exception of 1 or 2 players, has already made their way back over to their sideline. But there is a penalty flag down. And now they're going to wave it off. So an inadvertent flag. And now we will get ready for the Marshall County kickoff. 20-6, 9:29 to play in the first half. Marshalls with the lead, the Marshall County kickoff when we return on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
RE/MAX Replay brought to you by Jeff Smith and his team of realtors at RE/MAX Real Estate Associates, Benton and Murray. 48-yard touchdown run for Tyler Stokes. The Marshalls leading 20-6. U.S. Bank call to the sideline. Here's Aaron Clayton.
The reason for the flag initially thought was because one of the linemen hurdled the Marshall County center before the ball was snapped. That's what the initial call was going to be, but then after referring back to the head officials, they said that he did not hurdle before the snap happened. So Marshall County, that's what they were complaining about. But for the most part, though, still a good attitude on this side, reading the blocks of the guys in the back, quarterback, running backs right now. Marshall County really got a lot of momentum on their side. We'll see if they get a good stop here.
Aaron Clayton with the U.S. Bank call to the sideline, down to the Marshall County sideline, with the Marshalls dressed in their white pants with orange jerseys here tonight. Stockdale ready to kick. Pretty good kick here by Stockdale, end over end kick, and it will take Crockett back to the 2-yard line. He bobbles it, he picks it up on a bounce, turns it around to the right side, and he's across the 20 and out to about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. That was a 75-yard scoring drive for the Marshalls, by the way, on that last possession, and that's now 3 possessions in a row that the Marshalls have scored on. Fort Campbell will start from their own 21-yard line, their worst starting point of the night. In fact, 2 of their previous 3 possessions have started on the Marshall County side of the 50. But the Marshalls have been able to hold them to just 6 points so far. 20-6, Marshall County with the lead. Randy Stafford, our special guest, longtime staff member, defensive coordinator for the Marshalls. He is their honorary captain here tonight. Trips left here for Fort Campbell, single receiver to the right. Now a man in motion for Fort Campbell from the near side. So 2 receivers to the right. Middleton looks to throw, and the pass is caught out of the right flat, short of the 30-yard line. Making the catch was Jordan Edwards. And on the tackle for Marshall County, I didn't see who made the tackle. I think it was Tristan Klein on the tackle for the Marshalls. It'll be a pickup of 7. We'll call it 2nd and 3. Ball at the 28-yard line Fort Campbell from their own 28. The Marshals leading 20-6. Four-man front for the Marshals defensively. Twins each way here for Fort Campbell. They've been strictly from the shotgun so far. Spence on the carry, trying to bounce it out to the right side. Great pursuit by Marshall County, and on the tackle was Blake Myhand. That is his second tackle behind the line of scrimmage so far here tonight. It'll be a loss of about a yard. So third and about 3.5 here for Fort Campbell.
And it'll be third and about 3 for Fort Campbell with ball marked about Fort Campbell 28.
Fort Campbell from the shotgun. And in motion to the near side, that's Edwards. Middleton looks to throw. Quick hitter out of the right flat, and Nathan Lake makes the tackle for a first down for Fort Campbell. Pushed out of bounds to the far side of the field at the 36-yard line.
Jeff, Marshall County studied the linebacker on that side that time, and it left them a little outnumbered on that side. Fort Campbell made a great throw, a little short out route. Defensive back had to give a little bit there and play a little bit conservative, and gave them that opportunity.
Ended up being a pickup of 8 and a first down for Fort Campbell out to their own 36-yard line. Marshall County leading at 20-6. The Marshals go with a couple of deep safeties here. Middleton takes a good snap, fakes the inside handoff, working that far side again, and it's Lake again, and close to another Fort Campbell first down out to the 45-yard line. Stevenson pushes him out of bounds, but close to another Fort Campbell first down. Talk about the adjustments that the Marshals will need to make on that quick hitter out on that far side. Right?
Yeah, right now they don't have a man, it looks like, assigned to the flats, and they're giving a little bit. I mean, of course, we had the same philosophy, bend but don't break. And but as you get down with your back against the wall, you have to tighten up a little bit. So yeah, they're making use of that short side of the field over there. Marshall County's adjusting a little bit wide side, and it's leaving them a little weaker on the short side of the field.
Ball is on the far hash again here for Fort Campbell. From their own 45-yard line, second and a yard. Marshall County 20, Fort Campbell 6. Second quarter of action. Massey is lined up to Middleton's left in the shotgun here for Fort Campbell. Trips left and a single receiver to the right. Middleton throwing again, and the pass is caught again by Nathan Taylor in the right flat. They keep working that short side of the field, as you talked about, Randy. It's a first down for Fort Campbell into Marshall County territory down to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, they're basically doing the same thing every time. They put trips to the wide side of the field and leave the number 10 kid out there on the short side and just one-on-one and running that little out route. And I'm sure they're trying to get that. They'd like to see that corner cheat up and try to beat him deep. He's going to have to be aware of that.
Well, they go the opposite way here with the trips to the short side of the field. Single receiver left. Marshall County will rush 4. Massey comes in motion out of the backfield to the near side, and he'll be stacked behind the wideout that way when the ball is snapped. And this pass is high, intended for Jordan Edwards. A little bit high, probably a catch that he could have made, should have made perhaps. Slips through his hands. The Marshall County defensive back, I think that may have been Tristan Klein, had an opportunity to catch it. That would have been a tough interception to make. Bring up second and 10 here for Fort Campbell. The Marshals leading 20-6.
Yeah, Marshall County just playing a little soft right now, not wanting to give up an easy 6. And
Twins each way. Middleton from the shotgun. The Marshals will rush 4. One of the linebackers cheating up. Now he'll come on some pressure, and it's a screen pass out on the far side. Edwards making the catch and then fighting for a couple of extra yards, some hard-fought yards there for Edwards across the Marshall County 40 down to the 39. They might even give him the 38. Blake Myhand on the stop for the Marshals. He's had a very solid first half defensively for the Marshals.
Big down for the Marshals. Big down. They need to not give up that little short route. They need to tighten up, come up and challenge the wideouts a little bit.
Third down and 6 here for Fort Campbell. They'll put one wide out just off the edge of the left tackle. And that's who they're going to. It's Crockett, and Crockett is hit by Dylan Rayburn right as the ball got there. Dylan Rayburn with a hard hit jarred the ball loose from Crockett, who had the catch and most likely would have had the first down. But Dylan Rayburn coming up with a hard hit to knock that ball loose. Excellent hit there by Dylan Rayburn, who's in at defensive back for the Marshals.
That was a great job. He did play much tighter, expecting that out route, and he was right there as the ball arrived.
Longtime member of the Marshals coaching staff, Randy Stafford, sitting in with us here in the first half. The Marshals leading 20-6. Randy, honorary captain here tonight. Middleton will be by himself, man in motion. Pass over the middle is incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs for Fort Campbell. Well, Randy, you mentioned bend but don't break, and that's kind of what the Marshall County defense has done on these last couple of possessions for Fort Campbell. The last one started at the Marshall County 44. Fort Campbell came away empty-handed, turned it over on downs. They put together a couple of first downs on that drive, but then came away empty-handed.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what they did. They just were patient, didn't give up something easy, made them work for it, and then took the opportunity, and now we've got the ball back, the opportunity to score.
Dylan Rayburn will be wide left here for the Marshals. Luke Young is set up as a tight end on the right. Slot backs each way. Luke Wyatt is the fullback. Austin Riley comes in motion. They fake the pitch to him. Stokes rolling out right, and the pass is intercepted here by Fort Campbell. Tyler McKay with the interception for Fort Campbell. He's trying to get around to the right side, and he does, and he picks up several yards on the return down to the Marshall County 40. First turnover of the night for the Marshals.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Jeff, that's the beauty of this offensive style, is to control the ball and keep it out of the other team's hand, but you sure don't want to turn around and give it right back to them.
That's Marshall County's first turnover of the night. They lead at 20-6, and we've got a timeout on the field with 6:27 to play in the first half. Marshall County 20, Fort Campbell 6, but Fort Campbell will have the ball first and 10 at the Marshall County 40 when we return on WCBL Sports.
At Benton Hardware, we strive to provide excellent service to our customers. We're a full-service hardware store. Our friendly, knowledgeable staff will be ready to help you with everything you need from the moment you step in. Throughout our 10,000 square foot store, you'll find a great variety of well-organized products at very reasonable prices, and we'll be happy to offer advice on how to install them. At Benton Hardware, our goal is to make your experience as pleasant as it can be. Visit us at Benton Hardware, 411 East 12th Street.
Fort Campbell with a football, first and 10 at the Marshall County 40-yard line after the interception. Middleton set in the shotgun with twin receivers each way. Takes a good snap. He's looking deep. He's throwing deep. And we got a hit right there on Nathan Taylor. Say about the time the ball got there. I'm not so sure. It might have been just a tad bit early, and there's no flag on the play, so the Marshals will gladly take that.
Actually, I'm an old defensive back coach, but he was trying to go for the football. And the rules actually say if the defender's going for the football.
Yeah. Larry Krause has joined us up here in the box, too. Second and 10 here for Fort Campbell. The Marshals lead at 20-6. Fort Campbell at the Marshall County 40-yard line. The Marshals show a four-man defense in front, and that's what they bring. It's a handoff here to Spence, running around to the right side. Spence is able to take it down close to the 35. I think stopped just short of the 35-yard line. It'll end up being a pickup of 4 if they put him down at the 36. And we'll bring up 3rd and 6 here for Fort Campbell. 20-6, Marshall County with the lead. 6:14 to play in the first half. Our Puckett's Jewelry game time.
They've already proven that they're in 4-down territory here, so we need a good stop here.
The open side is Fort Campbell's left. Twin receivers each way. Set back to Middleton's left. The Marshals show a four-man rush again. Now Edwards comes in motion out of the far slot, so Tripp's left here. Late pressure by the Marshals. Quick pass out into the right flat is caught by Lake. And he has, I think, a Fort Campbell first down. It'll be close. They put him down at the 30-yard line. Should be a first down for Fort Campbell.
you know, Jeff, it's tough to make that adjustment. I mean, they ended up with everybody on the wide side of the field, left one split in to the short side, and that puts that cornerback in a terrible position over there. He's on an island, and he crowds too much, and they'll make him pay. So,
and it is a first down for Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell has it 1st and 10 at the Marshall County 30-yard line. Twin receivers each way. Set back to Middleton's left. The Marshals rush 4. Inside handoff to Spence. Gets by a tackler behind the line of scrimmage. Turns it up on the far corner and has a pickup of about 4 yards down to the 26. Austin Riley upends him there. Randy, I want to ask you while you're up here, while we still got a little bit of time left with you, put you on the spot. I want your favorite Larry Krause story. I want your favorite Doc Sanders story, and I want your favorite Jim Shelton story.
Well, the favorite Larry Krause story has to be.
We'll get this play here real quick.
Let's get this play, and I'll try to put it in.
2nd and 6 here for Fort Campbell. Middleton going up under center for the first time. And play action rolling out to his right, looking for some running room. And first time we've seen him run the ball here tonight, although he's very capable of doing that. And he doesn't find much. He picks up about a yard down to the 25. That'll bring up 3rd down here for Fort Campbell. Randy, go ahead.
Well, actually, one story will take care of both Larry Krause and Jim Shelton. In one of the initial meetings of the staff, when Larry Krause brought everybody in that group, I'll try to.
All right.
They're going pretty quickly line. They're trying to beat the clock. So.
Down under 5 minutes to play in the first half. The Marshals leading 20-6, but Fort Campbell has the football inside the Marshall County 30. 3rd down here. Trips left. One wide out right, and that's who they're going to. It's Lake, and Middleton put it out a little bit wide, although it's a catch Lake probably should have made, and that'll bring up 4th and long. Go ahead, Randy.
We spent about an hour trying to decide, Larry spent about an hour trying to decide what our coaching outfits would be. And in that same meeting, he indicated that he thought we needed a staff member that was kind of a disciplinarian, hatchet man, if you want to call him.
I bet Jim Shelton gladly took on
Jim
that role.
Jim Shelton said, I'll do it.
Pretty doggone good at it, too, wasn't he?
Yes.
4th and long here for Fort Campbell. 20-6, Marshall County with the lead. 4 receivers left here for Fort Campbell. They go to the opposite side, and it's Lake again on the catch for a 4th down conversion for Fort Campbell inside the 20-yard line. So Fort Campbell inside the red zone now. They convert on 4th and 6. Hard to believe Jim's been gone almost 5 years. Or over 5 years, yeah.
I've thought about him every time I walk in the stadium. I think about it.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. 20-6, Marshall County with the lead. Fort Campbell, though, has the ball 1st and 10 inside the Marshall County 20. Spence takes the handoff. Spence bounces off a tackle near the line of scrimmage. Marshall County stays with him, though, and they're going to bring him down after a short gain out on the far side of the field. Marshall's able to stay in there and make that tackle. That's the one thing, Randy, you and I were talking about down on the field with Coach Merrick and some of the other Marshall County coaches, is the fact that seem to be a lot of helmets flying to the ball defensively for Marshall County.
I really am encouraged with what I see. I mean, I see a lot of defensive people gang tackling, moving to the ball, trying to get to the football, not depending on their teammate.
2nd down and 8 here for Fort Campbell. That was a gain of 2. Twin receivers each way. Marshall County leading by 2 touchdowns. Fort Campbell with the ball. Here's the pass out of the right side. And the catch is made, but short of the first down. Austin Riley in on that tackle for Marshall County. Jordan Edwards made the catch for Fort Campbell. Takes it down inside the 15-yard line to around the 13. It'll bring up 3rd down here for Fort Campbell. 3rd and 5 for the Falcons inside the Marshall County 15-yard line. 3:33 to play in the clock moving here in the first half. Marshall County 20, Fort Campbell 6.
That time the split in ran an out and up. They're trying to set up the deep pass on that side. They threw the short, a curl with an out and up. Marshall County needs to be alert on that short side of the field for the long pass.
Massey is back in as the running back. He is set to Middleton's right. They have a tight end of the game here. Pressure coming on Middleton. He's going to be sacked. He breaks free. Middleton now second effort. The Marshals are going to bring him down. Middleton brought down back at the 24-yard line. He slipped out of the first sack. Dalton Keeling came in and Blake Myhan came in. Getting to him initially was Matthew Wooten. And Wooten stayed with it. And Middleton, as we talked about before the game with Coach Robbins and Coach Merrick, Coach Robbins, the head coach at Fort Campbell, Josh Robbins in his second season. Middleton's their guy. He's kind of their playmaker. He's the guy that they count on. Very good athlete, stands 6'2". So third and long here, or fourth and long rather, for Fort Campbell. Backed up to around the 25 now. Middleton flushed out of the pocket. Now he's rolling, throwing toward the end zone. Has a man open in the end zone. Touchdown Fort Campbell on fourth and long.
Middleton's pass complete to Nathan Lake.
Covers 25 yards. Nathan Lake just got all by himself in the far back corner of the end zone.
Initially, I think he was covered okay, Jeff, and then, they
as
had plenty
Middleton started to scramble.
Yeah,
I think
he scrambled a little bit. I think the defensive backs hesitated a little bit, and he slipped in behind them and in the corner, and he just caught it almost like a basket catch.
Comes with 2:09 to play in the first half, and Fort Campbell will go for two, I think. Yeah, Middleton will have Massey set to his right on this two-point conversion. Twin receivers each way. Now man in motion from the near side. Middleton looking to throw, throwing it out toward the corner of the end zone here. I think the player that he wanted was the guy going toward the back corner, the one that was kind of on the front side, put his hand up, and I'm not so sure he was the intended receiver, but it falls incomplete. And Fort Campbell will settle for 6, but a nice scoring drive there for the Falcons after the interception. And the Marshals lead cut to 8, 20-12 with 2:09 to play in the first half. Fort Campbell will have the kickoff when we come back on WCBL Sports.
Let me tell you about this wax we developed here at Defuse Body Shop. This wax is the easiest wax to apply of any wax on the market, and this wax will give you maximum protection from the elements. And we have a Teflon and a polymer added to this wax to give you a durable wax that will last a good long time. This wax was developed for our show cars and our show bikes and today's paint. This is the slickest finish that you'll get with any wax on the market.
Randy Stafford sitting in here with us tonight in the first half. Randy, a longtime staff member under Larry Krause and Doc Sanders and Jim Shelton. Defensive coordinator on some of the greatest teams in program history, including the 95 state semifinalist team, the 98 team that reached the state quarterfinals in 4A, won 11 games, still the program record for most in a season.
Yeah, the favorite Doc Sanders story very quickly is twice, I won't go in, you know me, I don't tell details and stories, but twice he left assistant coaches, had the buses drive away, once Jim Shelton here and heading to Caldwell County, and once Tom Shelton leaving Trigg County.
Yeah, I've heard about the one about Jim Shelton. Yeah.
The assistant coaches then got together and made a pact that if Doc asked us to get off the bus for anything, not to do it. Doc was a great guy, though. He would sure let you coach your people.
Paniagua Salas on to kick it away. Short kick here, and it'll be an opportunity for a return for Marshall County, but then it bounces away from Riley. He's going to track it down at the 10-yard line. He gets by a defender, and he is trying to fight his way out close to the 15. He's going to be brought down near the 14-yard line. Speaking of your gift for storytelling, Randy, I remember I was down in the office years ago. I think I just interviewed Jim, done the pregame interview. It was on a Thursday, and you guys were practiced and just kind of sitting around telling stories, and you got into a story, and pretty soon I looked around, and Jim really wasn't paying attention, and Tom and Tracy and none of the others were really paying attention, but I was. And you got to a point, and you kind of quit telling the story, and I said, well, what happened next? And Jim Shelton said, oh, good Lord, Waters, we're going to be here another hour.
I remember that day. I do remember that.
Tyler Stokes goes up under center here for the Marshals, and whistle, and this play will be blown dead. The Marshals with their worst starting point of the night from their own 14-yard line, leading 20-12. So Fort Campbell grabs a timeout here before this snap for the Marshals. Fort Campbell with their first timeout of the first half. 2 minutes exactly to play in the first half. That's our Puckett's Jewelry game time, with the Marshals leading 20-12. More in a moment on WCBL Sports.
Let me tell you about this wax we developed here at Defius Body Shop. This wax is the easiest wax to apply of any wax on the market, and this wax will give you maximum protection from the elements. And we have a Teflon and a polymer added to this wax to give you a durable wax that will last a good long time. This wax was developed for our show cars and our show bikes and today's paint. This is the slickest finish that you'll get with any wax on the market.
Luke Wyatt on the inside handoff here for the Marshals. He's out to the 20-yard line out of the Fort Campbell timeout. That's a pickup of about 5. We'll make it 2nd and 5. The Marshals have a couple of timeouts left here in the first half. Fort Campbell will get the football to start the second half. See what the Marshals decide to do here. That ended up being a pickup of 6 as they put it down at the 21. So 6 yards for Luke Wyatt on the handoff. Down to 1:35 to play, and the clock rolling here in the first half. Stokes under center. Buckmeyer comes in motion. Buckmeyer taking the sweep around to the right side. Cuts it up near the line of scrimmage, and he has the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds to stop the clock. Over along the Marshall County sideline, pushing him out of bounds over there for Fort Campbell was Ethan Tomerlin, sophomore linebacker, 5'9", 185.
You know, Jeff, the fact that we've hurt them inside with the veer and the option has brought them in, and you know, the fact that we're able to pitch the ball, run a sweep is encouraging.
CFSB first down for the Marshals. They'll snap it from their own 28-yard line, leading Fort Campbell 20-12. Slot backs to each side. Stokes looking to throw, and the pass is incomplete. He faked the handoff. Play action fake. Stevenson was the intended receiver. A little bit high on the pass. Just sent Stevenson down the seam. Stops the clock with 1:14 to play in the first half. 2nd and 10 coming up. Marshals leading 20-12. Tyler Stevenson with a touchdown run and a touchdown reception. Tyler Stokes with a touchdown run as well for the Marshals. Stokes will go up under center. The Marshals will go with 2 tight ends in this set. Young on the left, Smothers on the right. Misdirection play. Buckmeyer takes it coming around the near side. Buckmeyer is wrestled out of bounds as he crosses the 30 out to about the 33-yard line. Good pickup. Leave the Marshals with a manageable 3rd down. Ends up being a pickup of a little more than 6, maybe close to 7 yards. We'll call it 6. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Ball at the 33-yard line. The Marshals have it at their own 33, leading 20-12, first half of action. Dylan Rayburn back in at receiver. He'll go out wide right. Smothers stays in as a tight end on the right. Now Stevenson comes in motion. Wyatt on the handoff, has the first down across the 40, hard running out to midfield and into Fort Campbell territory, taking a couple of tacklers with him down to the 48-yard line. A first down run, CFSB first down run for Luke Wyatt. And the Marshals, with a couple of timeouts left, have some options available now with still 58 seconds to play in the first half.
And they're in field position, and they can afford to try some things here because they're in Fort Campbell territory.
Marshals will snap it near the Fort Campbell 48-yard line. Ball is on the right hash. Buckmeyer comes in motion from his slot back position. Toss sweep to him. Buckmeyer working that near sideline again. Takes it across the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. Pushed out of bounds over there by Michael Averhart, one of the defensive backs for Fort Campbell, but a 5-yard pickup down to the 43-yard line. Coming up at halftime, comments from Coach Merrick as he exits the field, brought to you by CFSB Investments, the Holly Office Products halftime report. And the first half numbers from this one, scores from around the area, brought to you by Raymond James Financial Advisor Richard Hendrickson. Slot backs to each side. Stevenson from the near side comes in motion. They fake to him. And Stokes, I think did he intend to pitch that to Stevenson? And
I think he got tripped up.
I think you're right.
I think he ended up he wisely, rather than try to go ahead and pitch it, he wisely just held on to it.
There by Stokes. 39 seconds to play in the first half, of the Marshals will use their second timeout of the first half. leading Fort Campbell 20-12. The Marshals have the football at the Fort Campbell 46-yard line, 3rd and long when we come back on WCBL Sports.
CFSB proudly brings you Casasa. What's Casasa? It's like never getting surprised by an ATM fee. Bank local and we'll refund your ATM fees nationwide. That's free Casasa checking. Ask for free Casasa checking at CFSB.
Randy, I want to tell you, it's been a pleasure having you sit in here with us in the first half.
Well, I appreciate it, Jeff, and I really, I appreciate the honor to be the honorary captain. It was a big surprise. They kind of tricked me.
They used a ruse to get you.
Yeah, they did, and I was not expecting all that information about me. And
Marshals have it 3rd and long, 1 timeout left, play action fake, Stokes flushed out, he's going to have to run, and he's going to be sacked. Back on the Marshall County side of the 50, back at the 47. I think at this point, Randy, you just go ahead and run it down. Fort Campbell may use a timeout, but you're going to punt the ball in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think, yeah, there's no reason to just let the clock run, and Fort Campbell will be happy to let you do that.
A little bit surprised Fort Campbell hasn't at least taken a timeout to force Marshall County to punt it at least. They're not, doesn't look like they're going to.
I think they're going to. I would too. I'd maybe even try to block it.
Well, that'll do things for the first half. Pretty solid first half nonetheless. A couple of hiccups along the way, but the Marshals do take a 20-12 lead to the halftime locker room. Randy, thanks again. Appreciate it very much. Good to see you as always.
Thank you.
Randy Stafford.
Go Marshals.
Yeah, absolutely. Randy Stafford been sitting in here with us at halftime. Honored here tonight as honorary captain. Down to Aaron Clayton, standing by with Marshals head coach Evan Merrick.
And now talking to head coach Evan Merrick. Coach, offense was really seeing the field well there early on. I know a couple of hiccups defensively there at the very end. Kind of struggled a bit, but all in all, pretty pleased with the first half.
Yeah, we've been battling. It's going to be a game in the second half as well. I mean, I thought early on, first quarter, we had some good momentum going in. Of course, had some foul-ups on special teams. Kind of gave it back to them there, the turnover, and we come back on defense in the second half, try to get an early stop and establish our offense in the second half.
Absolutely. And what's the message to the defense at halftime, especially there? I know they've been kind of hitting that right side quite often.
We're going to make some adjustments. We talked about it. We're going to go ahead and explain in there. Tyler Stevenson's been out some. I think we should have him fresh out there as well, but that's going to be something I think they're going to go back to, and we're going to have to be able to stop it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
That is Coach Evan Merrick. His halftime comments always brought to you by CFSB Investments, a full-service financial firm that's been voted the favorite financial investment firm in Marshall County by the Tribshooter's Choice Awards 5 years in a row. So thanks, Marshall County. Go by and see Patrick Flannery, Jenny Flannery, or Riley Solomon inside the CFSB Benton Banking Center at 221 West 5th Street in Benton, or 527-4650. Registered representatives are part of LPL Financial, not affiliated with CFSB, member FINRA, and the SIPC. At halftime, it's Marshall 20, Fort Campbell 12. Back in a moment on WCBL.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
At Benton Hardware, we strive to provide excellent service to our customers. We're a full-service hardware store. Our friendly, knowledgeable staff will be ready to help you with everything you need from the moment you step in. Throughout our 10,000 square foot store, you'll find a great variety of well-organized products at very reasonable prices, and we'll be happy to offer advice on how to install them. At Benton Hardware, our goal is to make your experience as pleasant as it can be. Visit us at Benton Hardware, 411 East 12th Street.
Fort Campbell will have the ball to start the second half. Austin Stockdale will kick it away for the Marshals. The Marshals leading 20-12 as we get the third quarter underway. The Marshals in their white pants, orange jerseys, Fort Campbell in royal blue pants with white jerseys. Stockdale, a right-footed kicker, outstanding soccer player for the Marshals, and he will kick it left to right to get the second half underway, and this kick will bounce inside the 5 and into the end zone for a touchback. Such a great weapon in the high school game if you have a kicker that can get it to the end zone, and Fort Campbell to keep it out of the hands of their dangerous return men. We've already seen Crockett go on a long kickoff return that set up Fort Campbell's first scoring drive of the night. So Fort Campbell will start from their own 20 here. Fort Campbell relied on the short pass, particularly to the short side of the field. They kept working the right side with Edwards and Lake. Lake had a touchdown reception in the first half. Edwards is lined up in the slot that way, and Lake is the wide man that way. And Middleton, for just the second time tonight, will go up under center with a setback lined up straight behind him. Tied into the left side. The Marshals perhaps showing some pressure. Now they just rush 4. Inside handoff to Spence, and Spence is able to take it out to the 23-yard line. On the tackle for Marshall County, Tyler Stevenson. Pickup of 3 will make it 2nd and 7. Third quarter underway. Fort Campbell with the ball, Marshall County with the lead, 20-12. Fort Campbell have the ball near the left hash. Middleton back to the shotgun. He stacks trips to the left side. Marshals bring up Wooten on the outside from his linebacker position. He's going to drop in pass coverage. Now Lake on the pass to the far side of the field, and Tyler Stevenson with a terrific tackle after a very short gain. They'll get it out to the 26-yard line, but that's the play that Fort Campbell has been going for 6, 8, 10, 12 yards most of the night. And Stevenson holds it to a 3-yard gain there with an excellent open field tackle. And it'll bring up 3rd and 6 here, or 3rd and 4 rather, for Fort Campbell. Ball at the 26. Marshals at Madisonville next week, and then back here at Carroll Trailer Stadium for 1 month solid. 4 in a row here at home after next week, starting with Ballard Memorial on the 31st. Man in motion here for Fort Campbell. Middleton looking, and the pass is caught in traffic. And a great catch made there for Fort Campbell by Tyler McKay, who had a touchdown reception earlier tonight and has the first down across the 30 out to the 33. Dylan Rayburn with the tackle, but a first down for Fort Campbell. 1st and 10, Fort Campbell from their own 33. McKay is out wide left. Edwards is in the slot that way. Wing back right and a wide out right, and a setback to Middleton's left. 4-man rush for the Marshals. Now some late pressure. Spence takes it, and he's going to be wrapped up for a loss back at the 30-yard line as a flag comes in late. I think Dawson Smothers was in on that tackle for the Marshals. The flag is down back at the 30-yard line. Preston Brewer, our referee tonight. Holding is the call against Fort Campbell. The Marshals have a choice here whether to take the result of the play, which would be a 3-yard loss to make it 2nd and 13, or to go ahead and back them up and replay first down. Holding the call against Fort Campbell, penalty declined. Marshals will. Well, they put it down initially back closer to the 30. Now they move it back up to the 33-yard line. Sure looked like Smothers made that tackle back for a loss there. We'll get it down to Aaron Clayton, see if we can get an explanation here in a moment. Pressure coming in on Middleton. He lofts it high in the air. Terrific coverage and an interception here for Marshall County's Ty Buckmeyer. Tyler McKay was the intended receiver. Buckmeyer steps in front of him and makes the interception at the Marshall County 43-yard line. Well, the Marshals will take over at their own 43. Ty Buckmeyer, who recovered the muffed punt by Fort Campbell earlier that set up Marshall County's first scoring drive of the night, comes up with the interception there. Marshals have it 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line, leading 20-12. We're in the third quarter. Stokes goes up under center with Wyatt, the fullback, behind him. Stevenson goes in motion. Wyatt gets the call. Wyatt running behind left tackle, and some hard yards for Luke Wyatt, who takes it across the 45 out to the 48 for a pickup of 5. Devin Evans, who had moved from the line to starting fullback this year for the Marshals, also going to start on defense, out with that fractured ankle. And they hope to have him back within a month to 6 weeks. Luke Wyatt has played very well in his absence, but Evans, an emotional leader, a senior leader for this Marshall County team, and they look forward to having him back. Stokes on the option play, fakes the pitch. Now he does pitch it to Stevenson, but the ball is loose. Waited a little bit long to make that pitch, and Marshall County with the turnover here. Now we've got a flag down well behind the play, back at the 43-yard line. Fort Campbell. Let's see what we're going to get here. Well, it's a turnover against Marshall County, but there's a flag away from the play. Stokes waited just a little too long to make that pitch. Let's see if the officials can get this sorted out. And let's go back a couple of plays to when it should have been. And, of course, it's all a moot point now with the Marshalls making that interception. But after that tackle for loss that Dawson Smothers made a couple of plays ago when Fort Campbell had the ball. Aaron?
Yeah, that was forward progress before the tackle was actually made, so that's why they spotted it 2 yards further than what you initially thought there. But what was behind the play and the flags here is for a fight that broke out between Ethan Tomerlin of Fort Campbell and also for the Marshalls. Breaking out there was Chet Kretzinger. Chet Kretzinger did not look to start anything, but without a doubt, Tomerlin, I saw at least 4 punches thrown to the face of a Kretzinger who was just laying down, did not retaliate, did not fight back. And then they just had to drag Tomerlin essentially off the field. But the reason, for again, for the 2-yard gain earlier, which is the moot point now, after Marshall got the interception, was forward progress. But here, we're going to probably have an ejection for sure.
The officials sorting it out with a couple of flags on the field near the 40-yard line of Fort Campbell. The Marshalls leading 20-12. That was our halftime score. Puckett's Jewelry game time, 9:01 to play in the third quarter. Veteran crew here tonight: Preston Brewer, Jim Chapman, David Smithmeyer, Zach Hobbs, Terry Apple. Personal foul and unsportsmanlike conduct against Fort Campbell, and we do have an ejection here for Fort Campbell, and I would assume that that is Tomerlin that Aaron was talking about on that U.S. Bank call to the sideline. But Fort Campbell will have the football after the fumble that was recovered by Fort Campbell. And what has to be frustrating for Fort Campbell is that's 20 yards away from where they recovered the fumble. So now we'll get the penalty yardage marked off against Fort Campbell.
Penalty occurred at the end of the play. Fort Campbell penalized 15 yards.
So Fort Campbell will have it at their own 40-yard line after the Marshall County turnover. 20-12 is the lead for Fort Campbell. Marshall County's second turnover of the night. Edwards in motion out of the slot for Fort Campbell, so trips left, single receiver right. Middleton takes a good snap, pressure coming, throwing down the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Lake was the intended receiver. Trying to get Lake on one-on-one coverage down the sideline. Falls incomplete, and will bring up 2nd and 10. And a Fort Campbell player down here. Down at the 45-yard line. Cramped up, looks like. Jen Salmon, the Marshall County trainer, out to render aid. We are in the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center. CFSB Investments named 2018 Best Investment Firm in Marshall County. That is 5 years in a row for that award. CFSB Investments, not affiliated with CFSB, a registered representative of LBL Financial, member FINRA in the SIPC. Visit CFSB Investments inside CFSB's Benton Banking Center on 5th Street in Benton. Can't see the number of the player that's cramped up for Fort Campbell. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Falcons from their own 40 when we get back underway. And while they work on the Fort Campbell player. We will step aside and be back with the Marshals leading 20-12. Fort Campbell ball when we return on WCBL Sports.
Let me tell you about this wax we developed here at Defius Body Shop. This wax is the easiest wax to apply of any wax on the market, and this wax will give you maximum protection from the elements. And we have a Teflon and a polymer added to this wax to give you a durable wax that will last a good long time. This wax was developed for our show cars and our show bikes and today's paint. This is the slickest finish that you'll get with any wax on the market.
Michael Averhart, who is a senior tight end and defensive end for Fort Campbell, the young man that cramped up there, and he's getting a little bit of assistance making his way back over to the Fort Campbell sideline. 20-12, Marshall County with the lead, 2nd and 10 for Fort Campbell from their own 40 after the Marshall County fumble. Middleton will have twins each way, 4-man rush for the Marshals. Secondary is deep. They set up the screen pass over the middle. It is complete, but for short yardage as Spence is brought down after a gain of about 3 yards. Tried to spin out of that tackle, but making the stop for Marshall County, I believe, was Andrew Stallings. Senior is in on the defensive line for the Marshals. Well, 3rd and long here for Fort Campbell from their own 43-yard line. Fort Campbell comes up to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers bunched, kind of in a triangle formation just off the left side of the offensive line. Now they send the running back that way, so 4 wide that way, and the pass is caught by Lake sliding down over in the right flat just beyond the 45-yard line, short of the first down. Had to come back a little bit and slide down to make that catch. And that'll bring up 4th down here for Fort Campbell. They've gone for it on 4th down successfully a couple of times already tonight, including converting one into a touchdown. We've seen a bit of trickery out of Fort Campbell. They went with that onside kick early in the game that took Marshall County by surprise. They bring out their punter here. It'll be the 2nd punt of the night for Fort Campbell. The punter for the Falcons is Jack Cogbill. He's a 5'10 junior. His first attempt was a punt that went about 40 yards, but only 20 of those were in the air. It took a big Fort Campbell bounce. Now the play clock has run down here. And let's see if Fort Campbell got a timeout. Nope, delay a game against the Falcons. They'll take it back to the 41-yard line. Cogbill standing inside his own 30, gets a good snap. And a short kick, a wobbly kick, and Marshall County has to be careful here. They almost ended up in the same situation Fort Campbell did earlier tonight. One of the Marshall County players almost had it go off of him. The Marshals let it roll, and Fort Campbell will down it right at the 20-yard line. That's where the Marshals will begin their next drive from their own 20. Dylan Rayburn cramped up here for the Marshals with 7:07 to play in the 3rd quarter. 20-12, Marshall County with the lead. And while they tend to Dylan Rayburn and work on the leg cramps, we will step aside and be back. Marshals will take over when we return on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
Marshals taking over 1st and 10 from their own 20. And Ty Buckmeyer takes a handoff and rolls it around to the right side on a bit of a sweep and adds it out to the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. Now Buckmeyer is hobbling off, hopping on his left leg coming off, and has a, I don't know if he's cramped up too. One of the Fort Campbell players also getting up a bit gingerly. But it is a humid evening, and the cramping starting to set in on both sides. So I think we might have a water break here with 6:28 to play in the third quarter. That is our Puckett's Jewelry game time. The Marshals leading at 20-12. And we will step aside and be back. And the Marshals will have it second and long from inside their own 25 when we return on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
Luke Wyatt on the carry here for the Marshals, and Wyatt with some hard yards, running out close to the 30-yard line, maybe just short of the first down marker.
Luke Wyatt on the carry.
It'll depend on the spot. I believe just short of the first down. Stop made by Elijah Jones. So third and less than a yard here for the Marshals. The nose of the football is right on the 30-yard line. The Marshals need the 30-yard line for the first down, so matter of inches here. Fort Campbell's been loading up the tackle box most of the night, and that's what they do here. They put 8 players in the tackle box. Stokes on the inside handoff. No, it's fake, and running around to the right side on the carry, I think, was Matthew Wooten. Nope, Ty Buckmeyer is back into the game for the Marshals. And I believe Buckmeyer is cramped up here. Stop made by Michael Averhart. But a CFSB first down for the Marshals, their first of the second half. Marshall County leading 20-12. Coverage of Marshall County football on WCBL Sports, brought to you in part by Road Graphics of Kentucky, Woodman Life Representative Roger Pierce, Dennis Faust for Commonwealth Attorney, the Stilley House Assisted Living Community and Memory Care Community, Monty Collins with Remax Real Estate Associates in Benton, RG and Company Insurance Services, the Kentucky Lake Chamber of Commerce, and by Four Seasons Restaurant. Jen Salmon busy tonight, working on those cramps. Let's get it down to Aaron Clayton and a U.S. Bank call to the sideline. Aaron?
Jeff, that's actually Matthew Wooten as Buckmeyer still on the sideline getting worked on as well. So right now it's just hydration is the key for Marshall County and Fort Campbell, as this is going to drag out this game a little bit more. But right now Marshall County just doing the simple things, saying not to make any more mistakes, no silly passes that'll be picked off, follow the blocks, run the ball, run this clock, control possession, get another score here. If you can get up by 2 possessions here, you're feeling pretty good going into the fourth quarter, but it is Wooten that is getting worked on the field.
As it, Buckmeyer, is he cramped up too?
He is cramped up as well.
Okay.
Right now we've had about 4 guys in the last 20 minutes for Marshall and about 4 guys for Fort Campbell in the last 20 minutes have cramped up.
U.S. Bank call to the sideline with our man on the sideline, Aaron Clayton. Wooten still getting worked on here with these cramps. The Marshals head to Madisonville next week, 5:55 Heritage Bank pregame show. Game time 7 o'clock. It's been a while since we made the trip to Madisonville. Probably have to go back about 10 years since the Marshals last played at Madisonville. Might have to go back to the last time that Marshall County and Madisonville were district mates, and that would go back about 10 or 12 years. So it's been a while since we've been over to the Badgett Athletic Complex at Madisonville North Hopkins High School. We will be there next week. 5:55 Heritage Bank pregame show, game time 7 o'clock, and then 4 straight at home for the Marshals after that. We had a halftime score earlier. Owensboro Senior at home leading Madisonville 21-7. That was a halftime score. Marshals will see Owensboro here at Traylor Stadium coming up later this season for a district game. Well, the Marshals have a CFSB first down as Wooten is able to get over to the Marshall County sideline. And the Marshals will have it from their own 33-yard line, leading Fort Campbell 20-12. Muggy night here in Draftonville. Big crowd on hand, big student section. The theme, construction. You see a lot of hard hats and a lot of the fluorescent vests donned by the students in honor or in recognition, if you will, of the major construction project going on, the renovation project here at Marshall County High School. And Stokes holds on to the ball and on a fake, and he tried to come around, and he's going to be brought down for a loss back at the 29. The ball popped loose, but the officials are saying that the ball was already down, so the Marshals will retain possession, but it's going to be a 4-yard loss. And another player for Fort Campbell cramped up here. So cramps again here. Halting play in the third quarter with 5:27 to play in the third. The Marshals leading 20-12. Thanks to these sponsors of Marshall County football: Benton Chiropractic, Gerald Chambers & Sons, Boyd's Auto Service, Hearth & Home, J-Mac Barbecue, Calvert City Insurance, CFI Equipment, Heartland Motors, Chris Freeland for State Representative, FLW Incorporated, Michael Gordon for Marshall County Corner, and the Dent Specialist. And a big thanks to Coach Evan Merrick for giving the WCBL broadcast crew these beautiful Marshall County polos that we didn't have to buy, with the Marshall County logo and the orange ribbon signifying Marshall Strong and uniting in the wake of the January shooting and the tragedy here at Marshall County High School. So thanks to Coach Merrick for outfitting the WCBL broadcast crew with some of these beautiful polos that they have for this new season. It's always nice, Aaron, to get a shirt that you don't have to pay for, right?
Isn't that the truth? I tell you what,
some people don't appreciate it, but you know,
it's all about generosity. Some people have it, some people don't, and that's okay. We have it. As a matter of fact, I went out here and gave Coach Merrick a big hug, and he said we look good in them. That's all that matters, and I'll take a free shirt any day of the week. Jeff, you've given me many free shirts over the years, and I greatly appreciate you purchasing those for me.
I didn't buy anything. Coach Merrick set us up with these shirts.
I'm talking about your old shirts.
Oh,
your
yeah,
personal shirts
yeah.
that you had in your closet that you lost all that weight and said, here, you're a fat man, you take them and you can.
I never said that.
I know. I'm just aggravated. But no, it is very nice over the years, the different programs here that have given us T-shirts, polos, and outfits to wear to the games.
We are ready to get back underway. Second and long for the Marshals. Wyatt on the inside handoff here, and this guy has been a workhorse tonight for the Marshals, and another good gain. He has it across the 35 out to around the 39-yard line. That's going to set the Marshals up with a manageable third down. After a good gain on second and long, Tyler McKay on the tackle, and another player for Fort Campbell has cramped up with 5:04 to play in the third quarter. Marshall County leading this game 20-12, and while they work on this Fort Campbell player, we will take a break and come back. The Marshals will have it 3rd and 4 when we return on WCBL Sports.
At Benton Hardware, we strive to provide excellent service to our customers. We're a full-service hardware store. Our friendly, knowledgeable staff will be ready to help you with everything you need from the moment you step in. Throughout our 10,000 square foot store, you'll find a great variety of well-organized products at very reasonable prices, and we'll be happy to offer advice on how to install them. At Benton Hardware, our goal is to make your experience as pleasant as it can be. Visit us at Benton Hardware, 411 East 12th Street.
Jesus Avila is the young man that cramped up for Fort Campbell on that last play. The Marshals have it 3rd and 4 from their own 39, leading Fort Campbell 20-12. Stokes goes up under center. Riley comes in motion, takes it on the toss sweep, coming around the near side, and Riley absorbs a hard hit and is able to stay on his feet for an extra yard and has the first down out across the 45 to the 46. Jordan Edwards on the stop for Fort Campbell. CFSB first down and a $3 deposit into the CFSB Scholarship Scoreboard Fund on that first down run from Austin Riley. Inside of 5 minutes to play in the third, the Marshals leading 20-12. Chet Kretzinger, the Marshall County center, with his left hand on the ball, ready to snap it to Tyler Stokes. Tight ends into the game here for the Marshals on each side. Hand off to Wyatt. Wyatt runs into a wall of defenders near the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. And another player for Fort Campbell shaken up, but I think he's okay. It was DeAndre Spence leading the charge on the tackle there for Fort Campbell. Pickup of 2 will make it 2nd and 8. 2-yard pickup for Luke Wyatt. Marshall's working near midfield. Wyatt with 78 rushing yards on the night. Tyler Stevenson with a touchdown run and a touchdown catch. Tyler Stokes with a touchdown run, accounting for Marshall County's scoring tonight. Stevenson comes in motion from the left slot. Stokes holding on to it. Pitch to Stevenson. Room on the left side. Cuts back near the first down marker into Fort Campbell territory and runs it down to the 40-yard line. Averhart on the stop for Fort Campbell, but a pickup of 15 yards and a first down for Stevenson. CFSB first down for Tyler Stevenson. Marshall's huddle up, standing in the MC logo at midfield. It's in orange, outlined in blue and white. The 20 is outlined in blue. The goal lines are orange here tonight. Stokes goes up under center. Four-man defensive front by Fort Campbell. Stokes holds on to it on the option play, faked it to the fullback, holds on to it, ducks in behind right tackle, and picks up a couple down to the Fort Campbell 38-yard line. Averhart on the stop. 2nd and 8 coming up. Heritage Bank Marshall County Coaches Show, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning with Coach Merrick, a recap of tonight's game, and a look ahead to Madisonville next week. Luke Young is out here for the Marshalls. Dylan Rayburn is back in. He'll set up wide right. Thompson goes out wide left. Ian Thompson wide left. Slot backs to each side. Wyatt lines up behind Stokes. Hand off. Coming around at Stevenson. Gets to the outside. Stevenson on a beautiful fake by Stokes to Wyatt. Set up Stevenson coming around the left side. And Stevenson takes it down inside the 20-yard line. The Marshalls will have it at the 19. Stop made by Tyler McKay. The Marshalls are operating in the Toyota of Murray red zone for the first time tonight. It's hard to believe the Marshalls have scored 3 times, but this is the first time that they have officially been in the Toyota of Murray red zone. Toyota's national clearance event is on at Toyota of Murray. Save thousands on remaining 2018 models now through September 4th. Toyota of Murray. 1301 South 12th, the Toyota dealer you can always count on. Shop online, toyotaofmurray.com. 1st and 10 for the Marshalls at the Fort Campbell 19. Marshalls leading 20-12. Stokes takes the snap, and Fort Campbell bringing a blitz there, and Stokes really didn't have a chance to get anything set up there. And it's going to be at least a loss of a couple, maybe 3. Leading the charge was Jesus Avila for Fort Campbell, who went out with cramps just a moment ago, but he is back in on that defensive line, and he led the charge there for Fort Campbell. It's a loss of 3. Will make it 2nd and 13 here for the Marshalls. That moves it back to the Fort Campbell 22-yard line. Marshall County 20, Fort Campbell 12 with 1:40 to play in the 3rd. Rayburn comes wide right. That's the wide side of the field for the Marshalls. Stevenson in motion from the right slot. Hand off to Wyatt. Wyatt gets it back to the 20-yard line, close to the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be 3rd and 11 here for Marshall County. Andrew Linehan on the tackle for Fort Campbell. 3rd and long for the Marshalls. They put the ball at the 20-yard line, and the Toyota of Murray red zones where the Marshalls operate here, leading 20-12. Stokes will go up under center. Wyatt behind him is a fullback. Left slot is Riley. Right slot is Stevenson. Trying to draw Fort Campbell off sides, and they may have done it. Stokes with a hard count there, and Fort Campbell is guilty of offsides. Fort Campbell was not penalized at all in the first half. They've had 3 totaling 25 yards so far here in the 3rd quarter. Less than a minute to play in the 3rd, 53 seconds to be exact, with the Marshalls leading 20-12. And instead of 3rd and 11, it's now 3rd and 6 for the guys in the orange jerseys here tonight. (20-12). Marshall County with the lead. Stokes goes up under center. Fakes the handoff to Wyatt. Pitches it back. This is Riley turning the corner right side. 10-5. Touchdown Marshall County. Austin Riley on a 15-yard touchdown run, his first of the season. Beautifully executed option play there by the Marshalls. The fake to Wyatt. Stokes with a nice pitch to Riley, who kicked it into high gear and got it around the edge, and a touchdown for Marshall County. And Averhart cramped up again here for Fort Campbell. He's getting some assistance to the sideline. Stockdale will come on to attempt the extra point. Taco John's touchdown for Austin Riley. Free combo meal for him. Parkway Chrysler point after attempt coming up from Austin Stockdale. Stevenson, the holder. Here's the kick, and it's good. Parkway Chrysler point after good by Stockdale. And the Marshals lead it now 27-12. Third quarter of action, 43 seconds to play in the third. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
RE/MAX Replay brought to you by Jeff Smith and his team of realtors at RE/MAX Real Estate Associates Benton and Murray. It's a fact, no one sells more real estate than RE/MAX. 80-yard scoring drive for the Marshals. 15-yard touchdown run for Austin Riley. Comes with 43 seconds to play in the third. Stockdale with the extra point. Marshall County 27, Fort Campbell 12. Stockdale will kick it away here for the Marshals. Fort Campbell having all kinds of problems with guys cramping up. The Marshals have had their share of problems with it, but not to the degree that Fort Campbell has had. And Fort Campbell with fewer numbers, not as much depth as the Marshals, and starting to take its toll a little bit. Stockdale's last effort, the kickoff to begin the third quarter, reached the end zone for a touchback. He approaches the ball here at the 40. High kick. This one's not as deep. End-over-end kick, and a chance for a return by Crockett as he fumbles the ball at the 9, picks it up, brings it across the 20s, across the 25. Flag comes in, well away from the play. Crockett's down the right sideline. He crosses midfield, and he's tackled from the backside as he gets it down to the Marshall County 45-yard line. But we're going to get a block in the back, I think, against Fort Campbell, back near the 38-yard line. Preston Brewer is our referee this evening. He'll get it sorted out. Flag came in back at the 38 of Fort Campbell. Crockett with another very good kickoff return, but this one is going to be brought back on a block in the back, or a holding call rather. Holding against Fort Campbell. The spot of that foul, this is going to push them back inside their own 30-yard line to get this possession going. Marshall's leading at 27-12, 33 seconds to play in the third quarter. Stay tuned after our broadcast here tonight. It's the Lake Kim Community Federal Credit Union Scoreboard Show with Aaron Clayton. Updated scores from around the area, the lineup of sports action coming up this weekend on the Freeland Broadcasting family of stations, WCBL and WCCK. Fort Campbell from their own 28-yard line. 1st and 10 after the holding penalty on the kickoff return. Negates a long kickoff return by Crockett. Fort Campbell trying to draw the Marshals offsides. I think they were successful. One of the Marshall County linemen jumps, and 5-yard penalty. Oh, it's against Fort Campbell. Somebody on the Fort Campbell line flinched. So 1st and 15 for Fort Campbell. We'll get a report from Aaron Clayton after this next snap, but you can tell fatigue really starting to become a factor here for Fort Campbell. 27-12, the Marshals with the lead. Fort Campbell will send twin receivers each way. Middleton, the quarterback, from the shotgun with a setback to his right, and a 4-man defensive front by the Marshals with 2 linebackers. Everybody else set up in pass coverage. And a screen pass to Spence, who turns around the right corner. Got the 25 across the 25 back to the 28. So technically no gain on the play. In fact, may have lost a half a yard. Down to Aaron Clayton, U.S. Bank called to the sideline. Aaron, really looks like fatigue is starting to become a big-time factor for Fort Campbell here.
It really is, and I'm here with the leading rusher tonight, Jen Salmon, the trainer. She has 200 yards tonight. talking about the fatigue factor, have you ever seen anything quite like this, Jim?
No, I haven't. It's not that uncommon. I mean, we're in the third quarter. It was hot today. These kids are back in school. They're not drinking like they're supposed to. A lot of them said they have been drinking, but I really don't think it's as much as they need to.
And Middleton is snapped. I thought he was sacked, and I believe one of the Fort Campbell players picked up a loose ball. It was Crockett, or did he hand it to him? Middleton handed it to him, and Crockett was able to come around the right side and got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe just beyond the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and long, and I think we've got another injury here. Or another Fort Campbell player with cramps. I remember it, I'm sure Chris does too, and I think it was the 2006 season opener. It was a hot, humid evening, and we were over at War Memorial Stadium in Mayfield, a game that the Marshals won over Mayfield 21-14. And Chris, if you'll recall, it seemed like half the Mayfield team was cramping up in the second half. Marshall County really was able to wear Mayfield down that night. It's been a while since I've seen this many instances of cramping. But I'll get back up on my soapbox for a minute here if people will indulge me. We're playing way too early. You're playing on August the 17th. I never have liked the fact that we start so early. I understand some of the reasons for it because of the way the athletic schedule has to be set up. But August the 17th, you can almost bet with pretty solid odds that you're going to deal with significant heat and humidity, and that's what we've been dealing with here tonight. The Marshals leading at 27-12. And one of the Marshall County players, I believe that is that Riley that's down there for the Marshals getting worked on, Aaron, to your left?
Yeah, it's Austin. He's just another cramp, left leg, getting that worked on. And for Fort Campbell, DeAndre Spence, as the quarterback was about to be sacked, the ball actually came loose, and he kind of just put his hand underneath it and scooped it up and ran to the right side to essentially get a no gain, but save what was a sack and possibly a fumble. And recovery for the Marshals are about a 10-yard loss. But right now, injury on the far sideline, and still trying to figure out exactly what the injury is, if it's another cramp, as the player went down on that far sideline, never got back up. But right now, again, cramps galore on both sides, but a heads-up play by DeAndre Spence of Fort Campbell to keep the possession for Fort Campbell and keep them in this game. And still waiting on trainer Jen Salmon to come back and give us a report on the injury on the far sideline.
All right, Aaron, thanks for that correction. I thought it was Crockett, so it was Spence that picked up that ball and got back to the line of scrimmage and saved what would have been a big loss there for Fort Campbell as Middleton was being sacked. So 3rd and 10 coming up for Fort Campbell. And I believe that's, I can't tell the number from here. Is that Dawson Smothers, Aaron? I see an 8.
That is Dawson Smothers.
Okay,
yes.
so he
looks like he cramped up as well. But, of course, on the far sideline, trainer had to go across and get him back up. And like we said, right now we're nearing 20 on the cramps tonight.
I think Smothers is going to be okay. Had almost 100 tackles last year as a sophomore for the Marshals. Led the team in tackles. Had multiple double-digit tackle games last year. Lake will go out wide right here for Fort Campbell. Edwards is in the slot that way. Twins also to the left side. Fort Campbell on 3rd and 10. Edwards comes in motion, so now 3 receivers to the near side. Marshall County adjusting their secondary accordingly. Middleton takes a good snap. He's going to work that right side again. Lake spins out of a tackle, but he's going to be brought down, I think, short of the first down. He does, with extra effort, get it out to the 35, but he's going to be at least a couple yards short of the first down. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Decision time for Fort Campbell. They'll have it 4th and short from inside their own 40-yard line, trailing the Marshals 27-12 when the fourth quarter gets underway. We'll have it when we return on WCBL Sports.
CFSB proudly brings you Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's a catchy word for earning cash that just might make you want to dance. Get paid for doing simple things you do anyway. That's free Kasasa checking. Ask for free Casasa checking at CFSB.
Here in the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center, Jeff Waters along with Chris Freeland and Aaron Clayton. Marshall County leading at 27-12 as we get ready for the fourth quarter of action. Decision time for Fort Campbell as the Falcons have it fourth, and we will call it 3 from inside their own 40-yard line. And they are going to go for it. Middleton will set up in the shotgun. The Marshals have to be careful not to be drawn off sides here. And now a whistle. And a timeout here for the Marshals. So the Marshals using their first timeout of the second half. 27-12, the Marshals lead it. And we will have this fourth down play for Fort Campbell when we return on WCBL Sports.
CFSB proudly brings you Casasa. What's Casasa? It's a catchy word for earning cash that just might make you want to dance. Get paid for doing simple things you do anyway. That's free Casasa checking. Ask for free Casasa checking at CFSB.
Fort Campbell has it 4th and 2 from their own 36-yard line. The Marshals leading 27-12. We are live inside the CFSB Investments Broadcast Center. Patrick Flannery feels that customer trust is the foundation of his business. CFSB Investments honors that trust. Stop by CFSB Investments to plan for your future. Patrick's office is in CFSB's Benton Banking Center. Products offered are not a deposit, not FDIC insured, no bank guarantee, and may lose value. Patrick Flannery, a registered representative of LPL Financial, not affiliated with CFSB, member FINRA and SIPC. 4th and 2 for Fort Campbell. Middleton looking to throw, under pressure, has to get rid of it, throws it to one of his linemen, and it goes for a first down, but it's not going to stand because the lineman there is not an eligible receiver. The flag is down back at the 32-yard line. Making the tackle for Marshall County was Dawson Smothers. That's an eligible receiver, yeah. So an ineligible receiver here and illegal touching against Fort Campbell. So Middleton has proved elusive here tonight. A couple of times that the Marshals had him in their grasp, and he slipped out. So an ineligible receiver downfield and illegal touching against Fort Campbell. And a loss of down here for Fort Campbell. Marshall County will take over possession of the ball. Boy, that's tough, because that is a loss of down penalty, and the Marshals on 4th down there will take over at the 28-yard line. Well, the Marshals could go ahead and finish this one off if they can get a score here. 27-12 they lead. We're just underway in the fourth quarter. Marshals taking over at the Fort Campbell 28-yard line. Stokes will go up under center. Buckmeyer comes in motion from the slot. Handoff here. This is Cody Sorrells who's in at fullback for the Marshals, and Sorrells with a nice carry behind the right tackle. And takes it down to around the 22-yard line. Gain of 6 will make it 2nd down and 4. Another player for Fort Campbell cramping up here, Jesus Avila. They're helping him over to the Fort Campbell sideline. And yet another stoppage in play here, as it's Averhart again. That young man has dealt with cramps on multiple occasions here in the second half. Marshall County also has a player dealing with cramps here. 11:28 to play in this one. That is our Puckett's Jewelry game time. Puckett's Fine Jewelry on Main and Benton. Marshall's leading at 27-12, looking to put this one away. They have it 2nd and 4 inside the Fort Campbell 25 when we were able to get back underway. The ball down at the 21. I said the 25, actually closer to the 21-yard line. Blake Myhand, Noah McClure, Chet Kretzinger, Blake Strader, and Chase Chambers all in on the offensive line right now for the Marshals. Sorrells will stay in at fullback. Had a good first down run a moment ago. Riley comes in motion, misdirection play. Buckmeyer takes it, cutting up on the right hash. Buckmeyer has the first down and several to spare. Buckmeyer takes it inside the 15 and down to around the 12-yard line. Tyler McKay on the stop. CFSB first down for the Marshals. And the Marshals back inside the Toyota of Murray red zone. Toyota's national clearance event is on at Toyota of Murray. Save thousands on remaining 2018 models now through September 4th. Toyota of Murray, South 12th. The Toyota dealer you can count on. Visit toyotaofmurray.com. 1st and 10 for the Marshals inside the Fort Campbell 15. 27-12 Marshall County. Stokes. Handoff. Sorrells trying to stay on his feet. Fight for a couple of yards after he was hit near the line of scrimmage, and he's able to do that, taking it down to the 10-yard line. Gain of 2. Elijah Jones coming up from his safety position. He's a sophomore for Fort Campbell. Sorrells with a pickup of 2, takes it right down to the 10-yard line. The ball spotted between the hashes. Marshall's at the Fort Campbell 10 inside the Toyota of Murray red zone. 10.5 minutes to play, clock moving in the fourth quarter. Marshall's leading at 27-12, trying to land the knockout punch here. Stokes up under center. Buckmeyer comes in motion. Handoff comes to Stevenson, running around the left side, breaks a tackle on the edge. He's inside the 5, down to the goal line, in. Touchdown, Tyler Stevenson, his 3rd touchdown of the night. Check that, that is Austin Riley on the touchdown run, his 2nd touchdown of the night. Riley takes it in from 10 yards out. He has both touchdowns here in the second half for the Marshals, and the Marshals increase their lead to 33-12. Pair of touchdown runs here in the second half for Riley. One of 15, that one of 10 yards. Taco John's touchdown for Riley. And the Parkway Chrysler point after attempt coming up from Stockdale. Stevenson is holder, gets it down cleanly on a good snap from Smothers. And Stockdale splits the uprights. Marshall County 34, Fort Campbell 12. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
Remax Replay brought to you by Jeff Smith and his team of realtors at Remax Real Estate Associates, Benton and Murray. 28-yard scoring drive for the Marshals after Fort Campbell turned it over on downs. And what happened, Fort Campbell had it 4th and short. They went for it. The Marshals were closing in on Middleton, the quarterback, had him in their grasp. Middleton threw it to the nearest white jersey he could find, which happened to be one of his linemen who made the catch, but it was an illegal touching penalty, an eligible receiver penalty, obviously, and loss of down penalty. So that gave the Marshals the ball at the 28-yard line. And Austin Riley finishes off the scoring drive with a 10-yard touchdown run. Marshals leading at 34-12. This would be the first time since 2012 that the Marshals have started the season with a victory. Defeated Webster County in the opener of that season. Or either Webster or McLean. This is one of those two. This kick is low, taken on the ground by Crockett here for Fort Campbell. And Stockdale, it was Tyler McKay rather, and Stockdale was the only one that could prevent him from scoring a touchdown, and he did. That was a great tackle by the kicker, Austin Stockdale. But McKay takes it down to the Marshall County 46-yard line on the return. Fort Campbell from the Marshall County 46-yard line. Let's get it down to Aaron Clayton, U.S. Bank call to the sideline. Aaron?
Talked to Austin before the game. He said, Coach Heath said, I cannot make contact, but, man, I really want to get in there and be aggressive. And, boy, did he ever. One of the most aggressive players you've ever seen on the soccer field or the baseball diamond. Finally got to make some contact. And he wants to play skill position sometime this year. Might get that chance.
Middleton will take it from the shotgun here. Twin receivers each way. Sets to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Throws over the middle. And wide open over the middle is Edwards. Edwards makes the catch at the 20, and he's twisting and turning his way inside the 10-yard line down to about the 8 before Tyler Stevenson makes the tackle. So it'll be 1st and goal, Fort Campbell. That play covers 39 yards. Make it 38. Down to the 8-yard line. So 1st and goal, Fort Campbell. So still 9:45 to play in this game. 34-12, Marshall County with the lead. Middleton will take it from up under center here as a tight end to the left, wide receiver that way, 2 receivers to the right. And Middleton lost the football coming out from up under center, and he just has to fall back on it right there at the line of scrimmage. And you see that happen sometimes when you have teams that are primarily shotgun teams. A lot of times when you go up under center, there's that tendency of that bad exchange that happens sometimes. A lot of times the quarterback will come up from center too soon, and I think that's what happened there. So 2nd and goal here, and they ended up losing about a half a yard. And Middleton will go up under center again here. 2 receivers left. 1 to the right, and the tight end moves over to the right side here. Massey is lined up straight behind Middleton, about 5 yards deep. Massey gets the call, running right side, and he lost the football as he reached out and tried to get extra yardage, but he was already down as he's brought down at the 5-yard line. Smothers in on that tackle. So it'll be 3rd and goal for Fort Campbell at the Marshall County 5. The Marshalls leading at 34-12. 8:22 in the clock rolling. Fort Campbell breaks the huddle. Lake will come out wide right. So that's the short side of the field. The ball is on the right hash, and Middleton will go up under center again. Massey lined up behind him. Triangle of trips just off the left side of the offensive line. Middleton with a long count. Hand off to Massey and trying to work the middle. He stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Smothers, Myhand, all in on that stop. One of the Marshall County players, I think, is cramped up here. Jake Haney also in on that tackle for the Marshalls. So a Marshall County player that's cramped up here with 7:32 remaining in the game. We will step aside and be back. Fort Campbell has it 4th and goal at the Marshall County 5. The Marshalls leading 34-12. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
Let me tell you about this wax we developed here at Defuse Body Shop. This wax is the easiest wax to apply of any wax on the market, and this wax will give you maximum protection from the elements. And we have a Teflon and a polymer added to this wax to give you a durable wax that will last a good long time. This wax was developed for our show cars and our show bikes and today's paint. This is the slickest finish that you'll get with any wax on the market.
Austin Smothers cramped up again for the Marshalls. He's making his way back over to the Marshall County sideline. 4th and goal for Fort Campbell just inside the 5, with the Marshalls leading 34-12. Coming up after the game, post-game comments from Coach Merrick, brought to you by First Kentucky Bank. The play of the game brought to you by Realtor and auctioneer Ryan Boatwright with Century 21 Service Realty. Plus all of the scores from around the area. Postgame numbers brought to you by Raymond James Financial Advisor Richard Hendrickson. 4th and goal, Fort Campbell. Marshall's leading at 34-12. The ball just inside the 5-yard line. Middleton back in the shotgun. Trips left, single receiver right. One set back set to Middleton's left. Fade route toward the corner of the end zone, and it is broken up by Tyler Stevenson. The intended receiver was Lake, broken up by Tyler Stevenson, and the Marshalls will take over on downs. Marshalls will take over officially at their own 4-yard line. 34-12, Marshall County with the lead. The Marshalls can just work it here, work that play clock, work that game clock, slow and steady, string together a few first downs, and take this victory to the house. Stokes into the huddle. Huddle breaks with 15 on the play clock. Stokes comes up to the line of scrimmage. Slot back each side. Stokes holds on to it. Pitch back, making the catch on the pitch back. And the end zone was Ty Buckmeyer. A flag comes in near the line of scrimmage, maybe holding against Marshall County. And that is the call, holding against the Marshalls. The flag came in at the 6-yard line, half the distance to goal. The Marshalls will end up essentially losing a yard here. It'll be 1st and 11. They'll move it back to the 3, half the distance to the goal. And the clock is moving, and the officials are signaling for the clock to stop. 34-12, Marshall County with the lead. They may end up requesting some time to be put back on the clock. I'm not sure how much time ran off the clock there. Going to be a replay of first down for the Marshalls, and they are going to put some time back up on the clock. Marshalls leading at 34-12. And we are reset at 6:40. All right, so nope. We're going to work on it some more. Now it's 6:47. So we ended up putting 15, 16 seconds back up there. Marshalls will have it 1st and 11. Man in motion. Stevenson takes the pitch, coming around the left side, gets a good block on the edge, and he has it across the 10 and rolling out to the 14-yard line. And on the tackle for Fort Campbell is Keanu Kaneshiro. Kaneshiro, a senior defensive end for Fort Campbell. Remember him from last year. So a pickup of 10 will leave the Marshalls 2nd and 1. We'll keep the clock rolling. Marshalls from their own 14-yard line. Marshalls are using every bit of that play clock that they can. Now they come up to the line of scrimmage. Down to 6 seconds on the play clock. Stokes sends a man in motion. Inside handoff. And short yardage for the ball carrier, who was Cody Sorrells on the carry for Marshall County. Gets it out to the 15, and it is good enough for a CFSB first down. Marshall County's 5th of this half, their 10th of the game. So a first down for the Marshalls. They reset the sticks, and they'll start the clock rolling again. Marshall County 34, Fort Campbell 12. Stokes will go up under center. Stokes holding on to it on the option play. Takes it across the 20. Stokes breaks into the open field. He's across the 30 out to the 33-yard line.
17 on the play.
Elijah Jones on the tackle for Fort Campbell, but CFSB first down on the carry for Tyler Stokes. Lake Kim Community Federal Credit Union scoreboard show coming up after we complete our broadcast here tonight, but still have 5:15 remaining in this game and a lot of post-game programming coming up. Stokes will have slot backs to each side. Buckmeyer comes in motion from the near slot, and coming from the other side is Austin Riley. Riley cuts it up the middle. Riley on a misdirection play. Riley cuts it up, takes it across the 45 to the 46. Jaden Ruggles on the stop for Fort Campbell. Gain of 13 yards on the play and a CFSB first down. Touchdown run for Tyler Stevenson tonight. A touchdown reception for Stevenson. A touchdown run for Tyler Stokes and a pair of touchdown runs for Austin Riley. That's Marshall County scoring here tonight. Marshall's has scored 14 unanswered points after Fort Campbell closed within 20 to 12. That was our halftime score. Stokes holding on to it after faking on the inside handoff. Takes it just across the midfield stripe down to the 49 of Fort Campbell. Be a gain of 4, maybe 5. 2nd and 6 coming up. McClure is out here for the Marshals. Getting a breather, talking to line coach Jason Fite as he makes his way over to the sideline. There's a big crowd on hand here tonight. A lot of pregame activities going on. Second and 6 for the Marshals, inside of 4 minutes to play in the game. Stokes trying to hand it off to the fullback, and both of them kind of holding on to it as Fort Campbell closed in. It's going into being a loss of a couple. The Marshals able to hold on to the football there. Sorrell's officially credited with the carry. It ends up being a loss of a couple. We'll make it 3rd down and 8. Takes it back over to Marshall County territory, back to their own 48-yard line. The Marshals will find themselves 1-0 after week 1 for the first time in 6 years. Stokes will go up under center, and I believe Marshall County may have moved on the left side of the line. Fort Campbell jumped across, but I think the Marshals moved first. Yeah, it is. First penalty of the second half against Marshall County. In that regard, Marshall County will have to be very pleased. Just 16 yards total in penalties tonight for the Marshals. 3rd and we'll call it 12 coming up. We'll make it 13. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Marshals. Luke Young is back in. Thompson comes out, so Young comes in as a tight end. Thompson is out as a wide receiver. Rayburn is the lone wideout. Oh, they're going to move Young over into the slot, near side. Quick pitch to Riley, and the pitch was a little behind him, and then he fumbled it a bit trying to pick it up, and now he's able to get back on it. But all the way back inside the 25-yard line. That's going to be a big, big loss there for the Marshals, and we'll bring up 4th and long, and the Marshals will punt it away. We talked about earlier Randy Stafford, who sat in with us during the first half, longtime coach here. The Marshall County program honored tonight in pregame festivities, named the honorary captain tonight. He sat in with us during the first half and talking about this flexbone offense that the Marshals are running, the veer, if you will. It'll look a lot different from week to week as they refine things, as they get more comfortable in their roles and just more reps. Riley gets away a nice kick. Nice punt here by Riley. Crockett trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. He fumbles it. He does pick it up on the bounce, trying to turn the corner on the left side, and he has it across the 40 out to the 43 of Fort Campbell.
Riley's punt returned by Elijah Crockett. At the Fort Campbell 43-yard line. Punt covers 40 yards.
1:38 to play. 34-12, Marshall County. Fort Campbell will take over at their own 43. I think overall, Marshall County will be very pleased with their defensive performance tonight. Had a few breakdowns from time to time, but overall, and I felt like a couple of times they were in positions where things could have gone very wrong for them. Fort Campbell had some short fields to work with, and the Marshals were able to deny them scores on several occasions tonight where Fort Campbell had the ball in pretty good position. Now Fort Campbell is going to use a timeout. Middleton calls a timeout. Fort Campbell's first timeout of the second half. We will take one with them with 1:38 to play in the game. Puckett Story game time. Marshall County 34, Fort Campbell 12 on WCBL Sports.
At Benton Hardware, we strive to provide excellent service to our customers. We're a full-service hardware store. Our friendly, knowledgeable staff will be ready to help you with everything you need from the moment you step in. Throughout our 10,000 square foot store, you'll find a great variety of well-organized products at very reasonable prices, and we'll be happy to offer advice on how to install them. At Benton Hardware, our goal is to make your experience as pleasant as it can be. Visit us at Benton Hardware, 411 East 12th Street.
DeAndre Spence on the carry here for Fort Campbell, and a tackle for loss by Marshall County, Blake Myhand. I said it was a tackle for loss. They're going to actually give him a half a yard. Looked like that tackle was made behind the line of scrimmage, but Spence apparently moved forward more than I thought, but Blake Myhand makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 9 here for Fort Campbell. 34-12, Marshall County with the lead, and looks like that'll be the final score. Middleton in the shotgun, and takes a low snap right as the play clock was expiring, and he is able to pick up the low snap, throws it out on the left flat, complete over there to Elijah Jones making the catch there. Picks up 5. Will make it 3rd and 4. Tristan Klein on the Marshall County tackle. That may be the final snap. Let's see if Fort Campbell tries to get one more play off here. We're down to 8 seconds to play. Fort Campbell not in any hurry to get up to the line of scrimmage, and they may get one final snap in here. They snap it with 3 seconds. Middleton flushed out, rolling right. Let's see how far he can throw it. He uncorks it long down the sideline, and it's Nathan Lake, the intended receiver. He was already out of bounds. Good coverage there by the Marshals to close out the game, and the Marshals win this game by a final of 34-12. First season opening victory for the Marshals since 2012. Stay with us. A lot of post-game programming coming up, including our visit with Coach Merrick, brought to you by First Kentucky Bank. Ryan Boatwright, Realtor and Auctioneer, Century 21 Service Realty, will bring you the play of the game. And the final numbers from this one and all of the scores from around the area brought to you by Raymond James Financial Advisor Richard Hendrickson. That's all coming up as the Marshals celebrate a 34-12 win here tonight at Traylor Stadium. Back in a moment on WCBL Sports.
At J&R Pharmacy, you get the best of both worlds. A modern building and convenient location with all the latest technology. And prompt, friendly service, taking the time to answer your questions, and a commitment to your good health and customer satisfaction. If you enjoy all the benefits of a hometown pharmacy, you'll love J&R Pharmacy, featuring a drive-by window for added convenience. J&R Pharmacy, corner of 9th and Main in Benton.
Marshall's a winner tonight, 34-12 over Fort Campbell, and Marshall's head coach Evan Merrick standing by with our Aaron Clayton. His post-game comments brought to you by First Kentucky Bank. Guys,
A lot we could talk about, a lot we could cover, but at the end of the day, 1-0 for the first time in 6 years, baby.
Absolutely, and that's what we wanted right here. You know, the good home environment, you know, setting the tone early, and our kids kind of fed off that. You know, I thought we had a good early start like we talked about at halftime, and then, you know, we stumbled a little bit there, but we regained our footing and fought hard, and it was one that took all night to do, and our guys really, I felt like had control of the game from beginning to end, and, you know, credit to them, their hard work. Appreciate the staff, you know, for helping put the game plan together, and Fort Campbell's still a good football program. They're going to win some games this year, and they're always going to be a gritty team that we got to, you know, give our best to, and we got that look tonight, but I'm proud of our guys, and we played on both sides of the football.
Absolutely. Talking about both sides of the football, really seeing the ball, the field well offensively to begin with. Of course, behind your quarterback, Stokes, you see Stevenson, you see Riley. But more than that is battling through the adversity, special teams miscues, turnovers, like Austin Stockdale, saving that 6 there, and then battling back defensively, getting the stop, 2 of them inside the red zone.
Well, that's some things we got to work on. We know that, and we talked about that on the sidelines there, that, you know, there's still some polishing to do, but it's still a good night to, you know, get that first win, and, you know, Stockdale on the, you know, that touchdown saving play by kicker, you know, so everybody contributed there. So, like I say, clean up some special team stuff, try to eliminate those turnovers. But you told me, you know, what we have, 16 yards in penalties.
Only 16 yards tonight.
That clears up a lot of stuff right there. And I think our kids played discipline, played hard. So, you know, a lot to build on going forward into the Madisonville week.
As you told the boys, the next best thing than 1-0 is 2-0, and it's going to be a lot tougher when you have to hit the road to take on a very good Madisonville team. Talk about the Maroons next week.
It is, and I'll tell you what, Madisonville, I don't know how they played with Owensboro tonight, but that's usually a tough early game for them. But they're going to be a competitor in that 4A District 1. We know that. And we played them out here, you know, last year in a good, hard-fought game, and they're going to be physical again. And how the schedule presents itself, you know, as the season goes on, it's going to continue to kind of progress, and it's going to get tougher for us. But, you know, we got to keep rising to the challenge. So we're looking forward to the opportunity next week in Madisonville.
Coach, celebrate a little bit, rest. We'll see you next Friday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. That is Coach Evan Merrick, and his post-game thoughts are brought to you by First Kentucky Bank.